$15 and there's a Walgreens on the strip.
But he doesn't know how to do that.
You just pop it in and out.
Yeah, well, I'll go by Walgreens and maybe put a new one in.
There you go. Now we're getting somewhere.
But he can't do that because his time is spoken for. He's got that elevator.
He's got nothing till noon.
Yeah, I got time. First interview's at noon, so I got time to go to Walgreens and pick one up.
Why, sure.
Now, I'm not sure Kat or Doug saw this, but Iggy, there was a tweet from a gal named August Taylor, and underneath, above her picture, it says, "What Iggy said," and it's been viewed by about 15,000 people. Was she referring to you when she said what Iggy said?
I don't think so, but I retweeted it anyway.
That's funny.
Because it does say what Iggy said, and there's like 15,000 views.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't believe I've ever tweeted at her.
Respond?
Kind of like learn. So I don't know, but when I saw that, I said, yeah, I'm going to retweet it anyway and let people think I said something to her.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for your branding. There's no question.
Now, wait, who is this woman?
That's August Taylor, and she just put her picture of herself.
Are you
bouncing a little bit?
Why don't you put her on your docket today and get to the bottom of it?
No, I don't know who she is.
All right.
But he retweeted that she said what Iggy said.
Well, I retweeted it, yeah, but I don't know. I don't know any other Iggy. Iggy Azalea, Iggy Pop.
There you go.
I tweeted it, but
chances are it's you.
Cat, I can't today. I got so much today.
I understand. And the elevator thing.
I've added Mr. Skin today. I saw Skin yesterday.
Are you gonna? Some would say act in a fraudulent manner by pretending like you're colleagues and you have nothing against him.
Who, Skin?
He likes Skin. Skin and him are tight.
No, he kills him on the air, but he did tell us the story that
they're tight.
That Skin said, "No, I hear you kill me," and he's like, "No, I've been a big fan. Respect your work."
Again, you need to listen to the show. That's Captain Jack. That's Captain Jack we're talking about.
All right, my bad. I stand corrected.
He and Skin are tight.
I will step down.
Me and Skin are tight.
Yeah.
And Captain Jack, we had a nice conversation yesterday. He was up in the media room, and Biff was talking to him, and yeah, so Captain Jack's here.
So Skin and Jack are different. That was my faux pas, Doug.
Yes, Mr. Skin is...
Next time, help me out, Doug. Don't let me drown like that.
Are you holding out any hope, Iggy, that you might meet that special someone while you're out there this week?
No.
Someone in the industry?
This isn't the place to meet somebody, Doug.
Oh, you've given up hope on that completely? None of these girls you might strike up a connection with?
I don't know why you ask some of these questions. I really don't.
Well, these are the girls that you like so much and that you...
Yes, I like talking to them.
Right.
I want to date them.
Like the one he almost found in Jupiter.
Right.
Yeah, you telling that story again?
Yep, we got that earlier.
Got it out early.
Well,
so you never know.
I was about 8 scotch deep, so yeah.
It wasn't your fault. It wasn't your
He's
fault.
coming over for breakfast. I'm staying up.
I might miss my flight. I might stay here.
So when the awards are tomorrow night?
Yeah, tomorrow night. Red carpet. I got to ask them because I would love to Facebook Live the red carpet.
Right.
I got to see if I'm allowed to do that or because of contractual stuff with Showtime. And I think I find out today if they're going to give me a sit-down later on with Cardi B.
She's a real celebrity.
Yeah, she's performing.
She's
time.
performing at the awards?
Yeah.
So she's a singer, right? She's very popular. So if you get that, to me, that would be a real scoop because you're like, yeah, I got this interview no one can get with
Cardi B.
Cindy Flem or
Cindy
whatever.
Flem, yeah.
This would be something big that I would be very proud of you for.
Yeah, Cardi B would be huge. I don't know if I'll get it or not, but they're looking into it. That's Plowsy's favorite. So
Plowsy loves some Cardi B.
Let me know.
Oh, yeah, she's fantastic. Certainly.
Yeah, well, all these girls I talked to yesterday said one of the things they're looking forward to is seeing Cardi B. I don't really know much about her, but
I don't think she's not necessarily your style of tune.
No, I don't listen to any of her music, but
right.
Well, if
it's a big star, I'll sit down with her.
She got the nod.
I don't know much about any of these porn stars.
She got the nod for that coveted spot performing over Los Lonely Boys. I heard it was close.
Yeah, I don't think they're Christians. I don't think they would be involved in this.
Probably not. But if you ask somebody if it's okay if you Facebook Live it, the answer will be no. If you just do it, they'll probably never know you did it. But if you ask for permission to do stuff like that, almost always the answer is going to be no.
Well, I always ask. I don't want to. I love the people at the AVN. I don't want to upset them anyway.
Great piece.
Yeah, I mean,
what about doing a Periscope on your phone? They would never know you're doing that.
Well, I don't want to do anything that I can't, that they don't want me to do. I don't want them to find it. Look, they follow me, so they know what I'm doing.
Hey, he don't want to mess up his annual trip with Biff.
Yeah.
No reason to do that.
They listen to the podcast.
Sure they do.
They don't.
I still think you might meet that special someone while you're out there.
All right, Doug, I'll work on that for you.
Okay, thank you.
Angry, you have yourself an awesome day. Thanks for the autographed picture, Brandy Love, you got for me. And have a great day at the tables and have a great day with the ladies.
I will, and if there's anything else you need, Jay, autographed, to let me know, and I'll try to find it for you.
You got it, my man.
And good luck with the Tascam situation.
Yeah, I got to get. Thanks for the Walgreens thing. I don't even know what it looks like, but I'll figure it out.
All right, brother. See you.
All right, thank you, Iggy.
Oh boy.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After on KPN-TFM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, the Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You are listening to the Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Elvin Vaughn, Kenneth Iggy Strode, the Plowhawk, Action Jackson with you on the program. Come on in, the water is warm. Text in. Oh, Doug, I'm emotional.
I heard a little frog.
I heard a little seed in there.
Yeah, I think it is a little seed demon. Who's the seed demon?
I think it was just a little frog.
Seed demon? 314-881-TMA5. Call in 636-9004-TMA. And email in for our design, air, heating, and cooling email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Become a friend of the feather and active in the program, and watch it at youtube.com/TMASTL and gather around the hearth.
There's no hearth here. Do people even have hearths at home still?
You know, I had one in my basement in the country. It was huge, and we did open our presents on the hearth.
So there you go, Doug.
There, it's right next to the fireplace.
With the stockings in the back. It was a huge stone hearth. Doug, you would have been impressed.
What is a hearth? What's the difference between the hearth and a fireplace?
Doug?
I think the hearth isn't the sitting area, because you can have a fireplace with just a top mantle, but the hearth isn't the outer ledge.
Yeah.
Where you can put decor items and obviously open your gifts.
Don't say decor items.
It is. That's
like
what
a
they
Davenport.
are.
No, a Davenport's a couch.
You still sit on it.
Well, everything you sit on is not a Davenport or a hearth.
I love how we brought Davenport into the mix.
Like a stool is not a hearth.
I never had a hearth. I don't know.
They're great, man.
You were too poor to have a hearth?
Yeah, I think our first house down on down in the city, down on Flat Avenue, I think we had a fireplace.
No, at least you had a house. We would love to have had a house.
Two-family flat.
Hut.
We had some sticks we put over our heads.
That's what you did? You just held sticks up?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And we were thankful for it. We didn't have a lot, but we did have sticks. So, yeah, a hearth, that was for the wealthy people.
Well, they're not happy.
But what? Let me guess. We started a minute late.
Just going to go in order. Mernon? You like that, Doug? Instead of morning, Mernon?
I don't mind it, too.
Doug and Tim, who is your favorite Fed chairman? Mine is Paul Velker. Smoke a stogie and raise those rates. That's from the 314.
Favorite Fed chairman.
You guys taking calls today? That's from Flip Wilson. I think we are. Jackson, are you able to do it?
Yes.
Nice.
I think
636-9004-TMA.
I guess Alan Greenspan, I'm going to go with him. I believe he was married to Andrea Mitchell.
That's correct.
So as far as Fed chairman goes, I guess that'd be mine.
Morning, boys. Welcome back. 10 out of 10 on that hearth question from Ken, namely because I also didn't have an idea what it was. Follow-ups went downhill, but strong start by Mr. Strode. That's from Brian Henschen, who's monitoring the Colts.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, buddy.
All right.
Compliment from Hench.
Mm-hmm.
Doug's face is my Davenport. That's from Kwame Voyukas IV.
Voyukas.
My wife is the sea demon. Big pick energy. Good morning. What municipality are we going to shame today? That's from Mr. Licks.
Oh, who's got it coming?
Maybe Maryland Heights. How about cleaning your roads?
Oh, somebody just got paid. Let's see. I think was it Carl Pelker? Somebody said, what's Iggy going to complain about for? Oh, there it is. David P. Which will happen first? Iggy bitching about the roads or his golf team? That was in the YouTube chat. Congratulations, David P. Cash your ticket.
Hello, I'm leaving.
His mic drop that
Somebody
bitch
asked
and
me.
get out.
Plowsy wasn't happy. He was on 40 for an hour.
Yeah, I'm telling you, Kings Highway and 40 we were turning around. I'm not kidding. Going the wrong way on the interstate for the first time in my life, and going the wrong way up an on-ramp. That's the only
accident?
There was like 7 fire trucks acting like the Berlin Wall around 40. It was insane. I don't know exactly what happened.
Well, they don't do that just to inconvenience anyone.
I didn't say it wasn't inconvenience. I didn't say it was purposeful, but it's still, you can complain about it.
Yeah, well.
Got to 44, took Hampton. It was clear, and then 270 had a problem.
270 was kind of slow going.
Until I had to take Ledoux. It was hard. Yeah, it took me about an hour or so to get here, so not fun.
Well, these are severe conditions when it's 3 or 4 degrees and it's snowed a little bit. It's good luck keeping every road pristine. It's not going to happen.
Nice, Doug.
Ooh, there's a ruckus in the hallway. Jackson, what's going on in the hallway?
Sounds like a tickle fight.
Looks like the Riz show's taking a break. Just look at him, just making noise, baby.
Ruckus. Is that a ruckus or raucous? Ruckus?
Should we tell him to be quiet? We got a show going on here.
You just say ruckus.
No.
You like that? Ruckus?
Bring the ruckus.
He's looking out the window, just hoping to
That
learn
couldn't have been. If I was in the kitchen,
Good read.
it could not have been creepier.
Or Rafe. I haven't seen Rafe in like a month.
Yeah, it wasn't him.
Licks, were you supposed to be at my house at 6 to plow the driveway? Did your 1979 GMC break down again? Get a shovel, you peon, and clean it up over here. It's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
I have a feeling in future years we won't be shoveling driveways. We'll have some piece of equipment that'll just melt all that stuff real quick, real nice, like real fast, without all the hassle. Yeah, I saw a video of a guy with a giant blowtorch out on his driveway. And the snow, I mean, it melted immediately. You'd have to be very careful with it, obviously, but it was an enormous blowtorch. And boy, it was sure making fast work of that snow.
We got a guy across the street that uses a leaf blower, and you could see him standing on his porch just peacocking at all the little minions that are, he loves doing that.
You know who else has a good snowblower? Mike Francesa.
Yeah. God, I'm going to have that pulled up. You're so good.
Well, just the invention of, like, the underground heating system. Like, if you saw the Bills Stadium yesterday, if you saw what it was like 10 hours before that, covered in snow.
Yeah.
And then game time, it looked like it was summer.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah, that underground heating that melts everything.
Yeah, of course, we're spending millions for that.
Yeah. But at least
we have to have something that's affordable for people who live, just with sticks over their heads. Like I had to growing up.
On that game, I can't tell you how awesome it is. Just nobody had a section. You just shoveled out a seat and then just sat in it.
Is that what they did?
Apparently, that's what it ended up being. I don't think at the time that was the original plan, but there were people like waist deep just walking to their seat. That's awesome. I love that. It's probably not great for.
I wouldn't go to that game. Yeah, I'd sit and watch from the comfort of my home. I don't get a whole lot of kick out of being outside when it's 0 degrees, wind's blowing. I don't care if I'm watching a football game or not.
If it makes you guys feel any better, we got frost and rain in Tallahassee this morning.
Really?
Like it's Nate and he's in Tallahassee.
Yeah, that's like the taint sweat. That's kind of where. That's basically what Tallahassee gets.
Getting a number of St. Louis starter packs texts and. Because St. Louis starter packs, Doug, that's your account or is that Jackson's account?
It's not mine.
Jackson's account. Is that correct, Jackson?
Incorrect. But I guess. I don't know.
He's willing to take the heat for it, I guess.
That's hilarious.
Well, there really has been a theory that Jackson's the one behind St. Louis starter packs.
Wouldn't I be a little young to know some of this stuff? Like early 2000s South County soccer mom. Like I don't think I'd have a great beat on that.
Yeah, but that's like
4.
word of mouth.
Oh.
I don't know if I could be that.
So anyway, St. Louis starter packs at some point over the weekend did a Q&A and got a bunch of questions asking if the owner of the account on Instagram is somebody on TMA, and said no, but. You've heard my voice on the show before. And so then people, and I'm telling you, I'm like Iggy, I don't usually get many direct messages, but I was getting direct messages and texts from compadres.
Oh, really?
Theorizing who it actually is behind St. Louis starter packs.
Hello, St. Louis!
And Larry Nichols, of course, who it is. Larry will not be on today, by the way.
You know who might be clever enough to pull that off is Chris Raby.
Wow, that's not a terrible guess.
Although he's not from St. Louis, right? So maybe he wouldn't be tuned into some of the stuff that happened here a couple decades ago.
Just throwing your guesses on air and just throwing people under the bus and things.
Well, we've heard his voice, and he's very clever.
Maybe it's Wellington.
I'm certain.
Well, I don't know that he's got the time.
Daddy Padre.
He's real locked into the area.
It's someone who's called in at some point.
All I know is that's what the account said.
No, it's a fun little site. It's a fun thing.
Do you enjoy it?
I see it every now and then,
Sveta and Ruckus.
Could be Buck Swope. Oh, yeah, that's another possibility.
You're talking about a time-consuming project.
Yeah, he can knock that out.
Good at those.
Brian Henson thinks it's Timmy the Tickler. You think it's because he's your favorite caller? Wouldn't it be amazing?
He's not a good caller.
That's a good call. I think it's Swope. He's the only guy that's got all his time to do this, and he doesn't seem to work. So
yeah, and he put it together
I wasn't
real
going
quick.
that far. I wasn't direct, but I think these kind of tasks he enjoys, and he's very locked into St. Louis.
Mm.
Someone thinks it's the hipster of Tower Grove South.
He didn't call in that much.
I don't know if he's ever called in. I can't remember.
Maybe him.
It really sucks training puppies when it's too cold to go outside. It's also hard to have sex with your wife with 2 puppies in your bed. Claves is pissed. Said these bitches better be trained by the time he gets back from his cruise in Jupiter. And he wasn't just talking about the dogs. Wife is working on her ball gag and how big of a butt plug she can take in. Thanks, it's a recovering alcoholic.
Oh, throw Claves.
It's a kitty cat.
Well, that was a good text.
I don't know how good it was.
What do you mean?
Claves on his cruise, or is he locked into the winter warm-up?
Well, I don't know. He was probably at the winter warm-up. All the KMOX guys are usually there interviewing people for their shows all day.
Did the weather affect your family's ability to get there for all 3 days?
It did not. We didn't go any of the 3 days.
Imagine wiping off your car, getting in that blistering cold to go to Cardinal Caravan.
Stand in line. Oh, the Cardinal Caravan.
The joy. I'm so jealous.
Well, it's not for people in St. Louis. It's for people in the small towns who can't get here.
Oh, man, driving 2 hours in. Oh, yeah.
But I think it's mostly for the people that live in these small towns where they go and visit.
I'm kidding. It's fine. It is fun. I saw Jordan Walker was there.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
$75 for his autograph, I think.
Not bad.
It's good value.
I would never pay a nickel for anyone's autograph.
Dark face.
I'd like to have a picture with somebody. It's kind of neat to have a picture with people.
Who would you like a picture with? Ella Reese.
Della Reese? The actress?
Touched by an angel.
Yeah.
She needs to focus.
I don't know. I had a friend who had a collection of pictures with him and presidents, and he had 4 or 5 of them. I thought that was kind of cool. Yeah.
Kind of like Blueberry Hill with like 1,000 pictures of celebrities on the wall. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that kind of thing's fine. But it's just somebody's written name that you usually can't read it anyway on a piece of paper. That doesn't do it for me.
Remember the adults that would like block traffic at spring training just to get like Luke Weaver's autograph? What are we doing?
Yeah, on a napkin.
Man?
And the ones that sign so many of them, if somebody collects, so I don't collect, if I have autographs or for me, but people that collect, I'll give you an example, Lady Gaga. You can't verify her autograph because she signs it different every time. You know, when she first started out, she did nice Lady Gaga. Then now she signs so many, she just scribbles. Somebody says, that doesn't even look like her. Look at this. This doesn't look like her. She doesn't sign the same thing. They just all just scribble stuff.
Yeah, it was
I
a nice
want no
effect.
part of your pursuit of Gaga.
Bobby.
Mickey Mantle.
Bobby.
Mickey Mantle had a great autograph. His M's had like moons in them.
Yeah.
He took time to write it.
Did you see the teardrop when he signed for you?
No, I wiped it off.
Wouldn't that be funny if his was more expensive because he had that teardrop, which is actually
a little bit of his
it's
DNA
an
on there.
authentic DNA.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, Jackson, I just am just getting your AM links. You had a strong performance, Doug.
Thanks. Yeah, felt good about it. Felt really good.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman earned praise for sharp criticism of Eagles. Didn't watch that game. I got to be honest with the audience. I really liked the Buccaneers in that game. It's not results oriented. I just like the Buccaneers in that game. Eagles just absolute fell off a cliff.
They looked lifeless last night.
Was the final 34 or 31-9? Something like 32-9?
Yeah, something like that. I mean, the Eagles had nothing. They had nothing.
Buccaneers-Lions to go to the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
What a weird...
Lions will win that one, I think.
I think so, too. But you never know. I mean, I feel like this is the type of year to where the Lions aren't overpowering by any stretch.
The whole world will be on the Lions, and that.
Yeah,
I would have bet wagering goes.
I would have bet my whole bankroll that the Cowboys would have beaten the Packers.
Well, we made that observation last week that the numbers were odd, as far as the money was on the Packers and the volume was on the Cowboys, and it kicked off at like 37% disparity, and I fire blindly when I see it get to 40% because the opposite happens so often when that happens. I wouldn't have thought that the Packers would blow them off the field. Let's see what the numbers are, Doug. Texans and Ravens.
Oof.
Ravens minus 9.5. 49ers minus 10 against the Packers. Lions minus 7 against the Buccaneers. Bills minus 2.5 against the St. Louis Chiefs. So there's your spread. If anything sounds good to you, fire your bullet. Fire it now.
Is that game in Kansas City?
Buffalo.
I thought Kansas City won the division.
Buffalo won their division.
With a better record, I think.
And they beat the Chiefs head-to-head. That's when Patrick Mahomes was upset with the officials.
As a Packer fan, this is house money, baby. We're terrible in San Francisco in the playoffs, but screw it. If we get blown out, nobody had us being here, so it's exciting. I did not see the Cowboys game going that way.
Now they're talking Belichick to the Cowboys.
And he interviewed with the Falcons. Would you really want to go to the Atlanta Falcons if you're
The Falcons have a bunch of raw goods everywhere but the quarterback. But that's important, don't get me wrong. And my plays have been Harbaugh to the Chargers and Belichick to the Falcons. That's my parlay, Doug.
Chargers come home.
Chargers come home.
I guess I could see Belichick with Dallas, too. That's the kind of Jerry Jones hire you might expect, right?
Yeah.
Try to make the big splashy hire, pay him $20 million to go down there and flounder around in his final years as coach. I think it's pretty unfair to fire a coach for one bad playoff run. I know the Cowboys haven't had a lot of playoff success recently, but when you get through an entire regular season playing as well as they did, and then you lay an egg in the playoffs, I don't think you fire the coach over that. I just don't.
I know you follow Dan Orlovsky because you know he's sincere.
I don't follow
not playing
him
a character.
no.
And he said, clear everybody out. Everybody's going to go. Team won, 13 games?
Mm-hmm. You had one bad day, everyone loses their job.
Our king.
He is the king, King Dan.
Yeah, what a stud.
Aside from the weather, it was like we were in South Beach with the people running around Ballpark Village. Hot broads everywhere carrying bats and whatnot to be signed. That's from Stephen Wildwood, who I guess was at Winter Warm-Up.
Carrying bats and whatnot.
You like that?
I don't care for it.
First time Mahomes will ever go on the road in the playoffs in his career. That's wild. That's from the Horny Banker.
Yeah, okay.
Jesus Christ, I can't do it today. That's in the Table Rock Lake Monster. Doug, what does that mean?
What can he do?
I have no
if
idea.
He can't fish, probably in Table Rock.
They hate us. They just hate us, Doug.
Wouldn't it be terrible to go fishing as cold as it is right now?
Have you ever been ice fishing?
Yes, in Minnesota.
Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon did that a lot.
Yeah, they did it.
Oh, I love the grandpa.
That was Burgess Meredith.
What is that?
Mickey in Rocky 1 and 2 and a portion of 3. Spoiler alert.
For his airtime, I don't know if there's any actor with greater pound for pound just heat that dude brings. He's never like the main guy in anything, but wow, he is so good in that.
They have tiny little houses they drag out there onto the lakes.
But you got
and
everything.
They sit in there and fish, and they have heaters, and
you got coffee, you got heat, you got
misery is what you've got. And then they drill a hole in the ice, and then with a ladle they keep scooping it because it wants to freeze over all the time, and then drop a line and act like they're having a grand old time. It's horrible.
Now hear me out. What if it's just a front for like a gay sex ring?
Yeah, hear him out. I like it.
Look, no wife is gonna ever want to join you on those missions.
No,
but also they're never gonna. Not have you have some good one-on-one time with your friend that you've known for a very long time. So this is a perfect spot. You're in like basically a sauna, fishing. Nobody's around you. No one can hear you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there you go, Doug. So it's a reason kind of maybe to meet your what do they call it? It's not a mistress. What's the term where you're meeting another dude?
Oh, God.
I'm half serious. Like, what? Is there a term for a male mistress? We'll just say male mistress. It's a good reason because no wife is going to go on that venture and you're able to spend quality time isolated from everything in this warm hut. You can do whatever you want. You bring your own cooler. I'm just saying, I'm not saying it like happens all the time, but it probably does and has happened.
You twisted SOB.
I'm just trying to think outside the box. I've never been, but I see movies
it's
and
terrible.
It doesn't look
horrible.
It doesn't look that much fun.
And every year, someone leaves their little house out there too long, and the ice thaws, and the house goes down to the bottom of the lake. Oh yeah, yeah, it happens all the time. They drive their cars out there in the middle of the winter.
I did not know that, Doug.
Yeah.
God, I hate to be. I would be that sorry sack.
Well, they're not necessarily in it at the time. I'm sure they haven't gone back for a week or so, and then they're out of town or something, and then the temperature gets up to 50 degrees, and a couple days of that, and the ice thaws, and down goes your little hut down the bottom of the lake.
I was going fishing.
You know, I'm not doing that again.
Doug's out. Munganass, sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour, stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com. It's Munganass St. Louis Acura and Munganass Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. And we recommend doing business with them because they are friends of the show, sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour and the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. Go online at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com and work with the great Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganass, and in the service department, Ryan Seiberg. Even if you didn't get your car from Munganass, I just got my car serviced out there last week. Couldn't be happier with it. They're the best. It's Munganass St. Louis Acura and Munganass Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Jackson, tell the people about Circa.
Sure, Tim. The world's largest sports book in Las Vegas is now in Illinois. That's right. The Circa Sports app is available in Illinois. So if you live here in St. Louis, you make the short drive across the river. Or if you already live in Illinois, sign up for the Circa Sports app because it's sports betting the way it should be with big app bets, high betting limits, tight money line splits, and the best customer service around. If you start winning, they're going to start limiting your accounts. Not what they do. They also encourage you to shop the lines, take a look around some of the other Illinois sports books, then come back to Circa. I'm very confident you're going to like the lines over at Circa. Much more, plenty of hockey, college hoops, NBA hoops to bet on this week, and then more playoff action, the NFL coming up next weekend. All available with the Circa Sports app. Visit circasports.com for more details and get ready to start betting like a pro. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Design Air is the sponsor of our email today, the place to go if you run into furnace issues at this particular moment with temperatures in the single digits here for much of the next week. Got this email from a listener yesterday. Hey, Tim, just wanted to share my experience with you from Design Air. Last night, while eating dinner with my family, we noticed that it was getting colder in the house and that there was cold air blowing out of the vents. I called Design Air around 7 p.m. to explain the situation. They were hoping to be able to make it out for that night, but after I mentioned our kids, he guaranteed they would be out that night. There was somebody at our door by 7:45, and the heat was fixed by 8 p.m. I cannot express how grateful I am that they were able to come out that quickly to keep the house from getting cold. Unbelievable customer service. Feel free to share on the air. That is from Dennis, who is a loyal TMA listener and worked with Design Air Heating and Cooling over the 3-day weekend with his furnace going out. Go online at designairservice.com and you will experience the same great service from Seth Goldcamp and his staff. Doug's a client. I'm a client. Iggy's a client. Why don't you become a client as well? Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. Sponsor of our email today, which you can send in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Currently, really a deep leaderboard at the moment. Brian Henshin, Buck Swope lead, tied with 2 wins apiece so far, halfway through the month. Kevin Miller, the JV golf coach, Maury and Little Jack, the calcified air, and Kevin Miller, all with wins. It's going to be a fun month of the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day.
Yeah. I got a problem with my house with the cooling. There's a little gap between the front door and the door jamb. When they built the house, they didn't get it just exactly, perfectly level. And so there's a tiny little spot where air can pour through there when it gets really cold. So now I have to jimmy it up with some weird weather stripping on the outside of the door. Otherwise, cold air just pours in. Thought about having the door replaced. That was like $5,000. It's the hell with that.
Look up, the film is fantastic. That's typically for like windows. If you're opening and closing the door, I know they have things that could remedy that without a full-blown project. But I would like to see you put on your tool belt, put on the camera for YouTube, and get yourself out there
and fix it.
Show, tell the people how you fix your project, how you do your project.
A tool belt for daddy.
I had a guy look at it. I'm not sure it can be fixed without replacing the whole door.
You just roll a towel up.
It's not on the bottom. It's in the middle. It's on the side of the door.
Yeah.
But, at least it's a house. It's better than where I grew up, which is, a grass hut with nothing but bamboo shoots and reeds for insulation. So it's a bad look to have a piece of weather stripping between your front door and
Let me guess, you're begging for someone to come help you for free.
No, I just thought I'd bring that out with Seth Goldcamp. I was thankful that my furnace just keeps cranking like crazy, thanks to Seth and his fabulous team. It better.
And that was a great story. How quick and efficient, because Seth and his team knows how important, obviously, in this sort of weather, heating your house is.
Oh, yeah, it's vital.
You got a big issue if it doesn't work.
Yeah, we had friends who have the pipes froze on them this weekend.
Oh, they're in.
Because I guess they redid some of their house and moved some of the plumbing to the outside wall. Now, when it gets super cold, you got issues. Never had a pipe freeze in my house. I shouldn't say that because that'll.
It's like talking about a no-hitter.
Yeah.
Doug, you can say what you want about Mike Francesa, but he called it on Friday on the Eagles and the Buccaneers. This guy's good.
What did he say?
Take a listen.
They are right now a really bad team. I found it hard to pick the Bucs in this game, but if you put a gun to my head, I think the Bucs are going to win. I think the Eagles have now showed us they're that bad. I have waited for weeks for them to turn it around, and they have not turned it around even a little. As a matter of fact, every time you see them, they look worse. If they hadn't locked up the playoffs 8 weeks ago, they wouldn't be in the playoffs. They didn't walk in the playoff door. They didn't crawl in the playoff door. They were pushed in the playoff door with no inertia. Here, you have to go. We're pushing you in. The brotherly shove got them through the door. They couldn't even have any of their own inertia get them into the playoffs. They are terrible right now.
Okay.
You cannot have any faith in them. They're favored, which shows you just how bad the Bucs are. They shouldn't be favored against anybody right now. They played the easiest schedule in the league the last 6 weeks and could not win. They right now are a completely dead piece. And I don't anymore believe that they had a magic wand to kind of turn this around.
Oh, he's going to be peacocking in his living room.
He's going to have a big show today.
You nailed that one.
Following the game, Jason Kelsey told teammates he is going to retire. Did not do any interviews. He said, no, guys, not today when the media approached him. But Travis's older brother, Doug, done.
Yeah. How old is he?
He is 36.
Yeah.
That's about
nice
right
career.
in the offensive line game.
Yeah, man. That's a good run.
Yeah.
So the way it shakes out, Houston at Baltimore will be on ESPN on Saturday, Doug. That's a 3:30 start. Plowhawks Packers are in San Francisco for your nightcap on Fox. Saturday night, 7:15 kick. And then Sunday, Buccaneers at the Lions, 2 p.m. on NBC. And then the Chiefs at the Bills on CBS to wrap things up at 5:30 p.m. on Sunday.
Houston sure looked good in their game.
Beware of C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, they looked fast.
He should be an MVP candidate.
I think he's playing against the MVP.
Well, yeah, Lamar wrapped it up.
Who you going with, Doug? You going with Ravens and Bills and 49ers, and everybody's going to be on the Lions, so maybe the Buccaneers, even though I want the Lions to win?
It feels like a Lions kind of year to me. I don't think they'll stop. I think they'll beat the Bucs.
I hope so.
And the Packers, Niners, after the way the Packers look, that game could almost be a toss-up. And I'll say Houston will pull the upset because I thought they really looked good. Saturday they played. And I think Buffalo will beat the Chiefs up there in the weather.
Wow, going against the home team.
I mean, the Packers in a dome, decent weather, they looked unstoppable. They're probably not going to look like that, and certainly the Niners aren't going to look like they don't want to be there like the Cowboys did. But give the Packers maybe a little chance. I think 10.
You're getting double digits, Plowhawk. You're getting double digits.
That's a lot in the NFL.
Yeah.
Why do you hate the Buccaneers, Tim? That's from Nate and Tail. I don't hate the Buccaneers at all. I've been a Lions Dan Campbell guy for throughout the season. I was hoping for a Browns and Lions Super Bowl. I don't think it's going to happen now.
No, not a real good chance of it. Oh, the Lions could get in. The Rams were playing well when they went up there.
They want to run the ball every once in a while.
Who's that, the Rams?
Yeah.
Why are you going after the Golden Griffin?
Well, because I had him on my fantasy team.
Oh, gosh.
You did football fantasy? On the weekend, like DraftKings?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Look at you, diversifying your portfolio. How'd it go?
Not well. I had Octoon.
Octoon, baby.
Yeah, one rush.
That's not a lot.
I saw where Mozart was questionable, and he was priced more than Mozart.
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 Right?
Mozart.
Wolfgang?
He had one carry.
I have no idea who these people are. It's like the Nintendo Baseball Stars game where they made up names.
Like an NCAA football before I had
Octoon and Mozart.
Octoon, baby.
That's the title of the
3 straight 100-yard
talking
rushing
about
games.
with the Dolphins backfield? Is that what we're talking about now?
A-Chain?
I call him Octoon. A-Chain, Octoon.
Wait, that's not his name, right?
Maybe that's why I never cash. I don't know half these players.
Could be. Well, you never know.
I had Williams. He had, they were in the red zone.
You got a lot of running backs.
Well, I'm allowed 2. That's 2. Yeah, they're in the red zone 3 times. I think he touched the ball once. Guy had more blocks than he had carries.
You think they did that just to screw you?
I don't know, but they probably would have won if they'd have ran the ball more.
There is no secret plan.
There was a secret plan.
And I had Prescott. He only did anything because he had to throw the ball every time in the second half. He threw for 350 yards in the second half.
And the Rams, that darn Kevin Demoff, the Rams uniforms look great now, but remember...
I have to tell you, they do.
They do, and he came on our show and said, no, it takes 5 years to change a uniform. And we all just said, oh, is that right?
No, we did not say that. We would laugh about it. It was a subject for emails for a while. Just like the morning he was on Channel 2 talking about it'll be great for the city that they're playing in London, taking the game against the Patriots overseas for tourism.
How do you even say that? How do you even say that with a straight
just think
face?
it's a bunch of hayseeds who live here and you're just throwing crap at the wall until you can get out.
I guess.
That's what it was.
5.
8th anniversary. How about that? 8 years.
Goes by fast.
Oh, yeah, I saw them, yeah.
Yeah, Demoff was tweeting, celebrating, January 12th, I think, was the exact date.
Yeah, that was a horrible day in the history of this city.
Had a couple things gone differently, the end of the game could have been different.
I miss that. I really do miss just those.
The difference is Jeff Fisher is a good guy.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
But still.
Yeah, he was kind of defeated there at the end, but he was a good guy.
How did the daily fantasy play out with the golf presented by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota? Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota. Jackson, do you happen to have that information?
Yeah, I sure do. Let's pull it up here.
I didn't do well, I know that.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh, Doug. There could be an opening here to even things up.
I don't know.
I'll leave that with Doug. Doug had Russell Henley, obviously finished top 5.
Obviously. What percentage of the audience knew Russell Henley finished top 5?
I didn't.
Matsuyama, Cam Davis, Harris English, top 10. Ben Griffin.
I was hoping for Ben Hahn.
And then Ben Coles.
Darnell's son.
Yep. Doug finished with 526.5 points.
That seems pretty good.
Yeah. And then Iggy had...
He cashed, did he?
Well, I kind of didn't want to step on it. He did cash $10. That boy, Doug.
Oh, good for the kids. I don't do it for me.
Iggy had Corey Connors, the postman, who had finished 15th.
God, he's such a good putter.
But then unfortunately had Adam Hadwin and Matt Kuchar. Both of them missed the cut.
Oh, MC.
And you get to research this stuff.
Brendan Todd, who did finish in top 30, and Matt Wallace. So Iggy finished with 379.5 points. Doug takes week 2.
Doug, 1-1 on the year.
379 when you get to handpick your team. Gosh.
What do you make, $8?
10.
Oh, so we're even for the year so far.
We are. We have not lost money yet.
And you've got to do research. Pick the ones. I just feel for the kids. It's not me, so it's not my ego for only winning 50% of the time.
You don't have an ego.
When I blindly pick. It's the fact that these kids must suffer.
I saw where J.G. Poston was 17 for 17 inside 12 feet for the week.
Oh, why'd you pick?
Terrible putter, isn't he, Licks?
He is just sent in a text in caps. He is not a good putter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what more proof you need, buddy.
17 of 17 inside 12 feet? That's fantastic.
Is that really a real stat?
Yeah.
That's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, still a terrible putter, but...
I was watching the broadcast, and these guys know nothing, Licks. These broadcasters know nothing. But one of the announcers said he made like a 7-footer for birdie, and he goes, he is an elite putter, and when his putter is hot, nobody beats him.
Shut it down!
Yeah.
But this guy probably knows nothing about putting either, Licks.
Okay,
only
let
you.
it go. Let it go.
We just need a good old-fashioned boxing match, but where every listener gets to pick out who they want to fight. We put them on the card.
Inside 12 feet, I bet out of 17, I bet I'd make 3.
That was my guess.
You're saying 17-foot putts, or are you saying just
no, 17 different putts inside 12 feet. That's what you said, right?
Right, but I mean, that also includes,
Yeah, a lot of those 12-footers could have been 1 foot.
Right, that's what I'm wondering. I'm curious what the distance was.
If you put me at 11 feet, yeah, that's true.
If you had
I would make 3 of them.
Just hit 12-foot putts. Yeah, maybe 3 for me. I'm a terrible putter.
Poston fired a 61 on Sunday. Licks, my salad. Get to tossing.
Oh.
That's from the recovering alcoholic from Belleville and Webster Groves. You got your ass kicked, Boots. That's from the 314. Yeah. Suck it, Licks, Team Iggy. That's from Steven time. There you go. Diversity.
It's nice somebody telling me I'm ass kicked. I just heard the results, so I kind of know I did.
That was...
sting just a little bit?
I mean, you almost...
It stings when I miss 2 cuts, yeah.
You almost doubled them up.
Yeah, darn near.
Well, Kuchar had one missed the cut by 1. He missed a 8-footer on 18 to make the cut.
When do actual golfers play? Did Roy play?
He was over in Dubai with Tommy Fleet.
When did the PGA Tour actually start?
I know probably Torrey Pines here a week from Thursday. This week they're in Palm Springs, and that'll be a lackluster field as well, I would imagine.
It's a pretty good field, actually.
Is it really?
Yeah, we got Scheffler and Schauffele, and it's pretty good. I mean, it's top heavy. It's not like from top to bottom, but it's a pretty good field.
Doug, have you studied the field for the Amex?
Not 1 second have I looked at the field.
You got a draft tomorrow.
Well, I'll do what I always do. I'll close my eyes and pull names out.
Are you looking to sweep the majors this year?
Very well could. Just darn near happened before.
Grand Slam. What do you expect from Licks? He's the weekend assistant manager at Shoe Carnival. That's from Sesame Timber. He's at Shoe Carnival now?
Well, they got some good deals.
I tell you what, I am shocked about all the businesses that I have loved, that have seen go. That Shoe Carnival is still kicking. I mean, Nike Outlet Mall, like everything is, but you got Shoe Carnival there as a staple.
Where is it?
There's one that I've been by recently, but I forgot where.
What kind of shoes they have? Decent ones?
I mean, the same, probably, yeah. At reasonable prices.
All right.
I didn't know they had weekend managers. I thought you'd have to be a full-time.
That's what someone's got to be the number 2 guy in charge.
Got my Cole Hounds on today. They have fur inside the shoes, so it makes my feet warmer.
Probably worth more than
the listeners are gonna
worth more than anything the rest of us have in our closet.
Now they were on sale. They're not really that expensive.
Where'd you get them, boy? Shoe Carnival with Licks?
Amazon.
Nice.
Long time ago.
You should have definitely went to Shoe Carnival. You probably
they look like a year old. I think I've worn them twice.
Well, congratulations on the win, Doug. It is now 1-1 in 2024, and now it's on to Palm Springs. 3 days before there's any cut, so that's advantageous. You can diversify a little bit. The cut takes place after Saturday because they play 3 courses at the Amex. It is the Munganast Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. Munganast online at stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com, Jamie Burkhardt, Clayton Patterson, Peter Munganast, and Ryan Seiberg in the service department. Any issues with your car? Go to Munganast, stlouisacura.com, altontoyota.com, and work with the best. The secret number is 314-252-0029. That is how you can call or text and talk it over with Munganast St. Louis Acura and Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota, plus a ridiculous selection of new cars on the lot at Munganast St. Louis Acura and Munganast Burkhardt Alton Toyota. We have an app contest going on. Win tickets to the St. Louis Golf Expo on the TMA app and TMASTL.com. Enter keyword golf. On the TMA app, the St. Louis Golf Expo is the can't-miss event of the year, giving golfers their first chance to see and swing the clubs, which will be the talk of the golf world in 2024. Take advantage of the lowest prices of the year on name-brand clubs and equipment from the industry's leading manufacturers. Win tickets by going to the TMA app or online at TMASTL.com, and the keyword is golf. The St. Louis Golf Expo coming up in the first week of February.
It's always a fun weekend, too. If you've never been to one of those, great deals out there. A lot of the, if you're looking for nice clothing from the year before the new stuff comes in, they got all that stuff on closeout. So if you're looking for stuff for good prices, I would suggest it. I've been a couple times.
Have you?
We used to do the Fairways and Greens show from there.
Right.
Everyone knew that. I think, how recently were you doing that, Iggy?
Oh, it's been a while. I mean, I did it for probably 11 years, because I would go to different stations and I wouldn't do it. Then I'd come back to that station, I'd go back to Fairways and Greens.
Yeah.
Off and on, 11 years.
Got to be a Fairways and Greens chapter in your book.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a lot of the...
Oh, will be. There's some good stories about Fairways and Greens.
Could we have a little tale now?
Doug's looking for an anecdote.
No, just some of our after-show get-togethers at, I think it was called the Clubhouse in Clayton. Me, Smitty, Jay, Bob Birch, and Ann, the bartender.
You remember her name?
Ann, the bartender.
Oh, yeah, I remember her.
Hello.
I want your book to become like the St. Louis Radio Almanac, to where it's like a one-stop shop. It's like 1,000, 1,500 pages.
Right. Anyone who's ever worked in the industry is mentioned there somewhere.
You got your index, like in that thick of just people that you've talked to and mentioned in the book.
Sure.
God, this would be a huge... You put that on the back of the toilet and just let people read 20, 30 pages at a time.
Heck of a piece of literature.
And
probably a bestseller.
Of course.
Depending on if you can get Penguin Publishing, maybe somebody big.
No, Simon & Schuster, maybe.
Doug, I know you didn't get a chance to get the winter warm-up because of the weather, but Bill DeWitt III spoke with the people, and the thing that I'm most interested in is the Cardinals and what they are going to do television-wise. Great article in the Post-Dispatch this morning, and here is what he had to say. Plowhawk, it's soundbite number 3. That's correct.
Phil, do you have to be prepared to get your games going independently next season in 2025? Do you have to be prepared to be the independent provider for your games, even if there's the possibility of an MLB kind of group thing? You have to kind of prepare, and the idea it'll be you reaching out and you'll have to produce them.
Well, if you're a free agent with your rights, like we might be in 2025, there are multiple ways that could go, right? We could do our own network. We could work with MLB and have it be a MLB-led effort with a basket of MLB teams that are out in the marketplace getting distribution collectively. There could be another third party that emerges. I mean, there's been rumors of the big boys in the bankruptcy auction court, right?
Yeah.
I mean, coming in and saying, maybe we'll buy these rights, in which case you'd have an intermediary again to deal with. Instead of Bally's, maybe it's someone else. So there are multiple scenarios out there that could play out, and we need to be ready for all of them. Probably if we're ready to do it ourselves, then we're ready for anything. That's sort of my philosophy.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah. I like what he's saying. I personally, and I think a lot of fans, could be off on this, would love to see the Cardinals do something like the Yes Network, SNY, and have their own network. But that, of course, comes with cost and risk. And is St. Louis going to provide a profitable model like a market the size of New York? The Chicago Cubs also have, what is there? Is it Marquee? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Named after Jason?
Yep.
Jason Marquis, the right-hander?
That's correct.
Crafty.
He was a good hitter for a pitcher. And a pretty good pitcher, too.
Yeah, he was a good hitter. Great golfer, too.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to join us.
Well, if it came down to a pay-per-view thing, and you had to pay for each game, how much would you pay per game to watch a Cardinal game?
Well, they're not gonna do the per game, right?
Probably wouldn't want to, but if it came down to that, would you pay $5 to watch them every night?
$5 per game?
Yeah.
Oh, God, green earth, heck no.
No, $2.
Well, if you're watching every game, you're talking
nobody
600,
watches every
800.
game.
I'm not touching it for more than $1 a game. $2 a game at max.
That's still $360 a year you're paying to watch baseball.
Yeah, I said it not really wanting to because I wouldn't. I couldn't see somebody spending $400 or $500.
Well, the people who pay for Bally's probably pay something similar to that, as much as Bally's hits the cable companies for the rights.
Maybe I don't want to see them go through a third party because you just see what happens. You don't really have the overhead of creating your own network, but you have really no say in the matter of if this is going to be a successful business carrying your TV rights. I just after Bally's or Bailey's, I would not be getting into the pool with any third party at all. Yeah, they have the money. I know they're a little tight. They can open up their pocketbooks a little bit and create that network. They can. And if they say they aren't, then that's kind of a stupid way of doing it. So I hope they at least, try that route before an interested party comes into bankruptcy court.
What are you talking? You want the Cardinals to do an SNY Yes Network?
Would absolutely love it. Now, what they charge, I'm not for sure, but it would be perfect.
It would be nice if they could somehow find an arrangement where all the teams were under the MLB banner and the payouts were somewhat equal throughout the entire league. Now, the big markets are never going to go for that.
We got to get rid of blackouts.
Because they make so much more.
The blackouts are going away.
Yeah, if you just got to see all the games,
going to be great.
But it was all under the MLB umbrella, and they divided the TV revenue up somewhat equally amongst all the teams. That would be, I think, ideal. It's kind of what the NFL does. The NFL's got a lot more money. But if it was evened out a little bit, you wouldn't have such a disparity in the teams and the payroll.
Yeah, but the Yankees and Dodgers are going, why am I getting
That's what I mean. They would never
Tampa
go for it.
And Cleveland and,
There's probably only a handful of teams that wouldn't go for it, but most probably would.
I think St. Louis might be willing to go that route.
Probably, yeah.
Well, you have to get it off
Absolutely,
cable.
Absolutely, they would.
Yeah.
You have to get it off cable. I mean, the only reason I got to watch it back in the day when it was Fox Sports Midwest is because it was part of Cable America.
Spectrum as well. Yeah, it was. Yeah.
But everybody's getting rid of cable now. Everybody's cutting the cord. Everybody's going to streaming services to watch things like YouTube. So even if you got back on cable, I mean, there ain't a lot of people have cable anymore. So if you do some kind of service where it's Cardinal Network and you pay $14.95 a month or $12.95 a month and you have some other stuff on there too, that'd be the way to go. Just have a Cardinal app.
Yeah, might be what it comes to.
I can't believe how easy it was on the YouTube TV aspect to just having Channel 37, I think it was, just Fox Sports Midwest. You get to watch the pre and post and the game and then go to their website and have the exact same, ease. It was just so simple. I can't believe we're here right now. Talk about somebody going into bankruptcy court and buying Bailey's and Cardinal television rights. It's crazy what 4 or 5 years will do.
Yeah.
Bill DeWitt also said the following: is MLB's goal to move toward a more level playing field through the media route? I would say yes, that is an industry goal. Is it doable and practical? That remains to be seen. But I think the disruption gives the industry an opportunity to try to move in that direction. If you're getting a little bit more revenue sharing over time, evening the playing field on media, that's a positive thing. But strategically, how do you level the playing field a little more as a commissioner, which is a goal? Certainly media is the first place to look. How you implement that is a multiple scenario analysis in New York, as in the commissioner's office. This is happening everywhere, and we are an example. That's why we have to fix the eyeball problem first, and then the economics will flesh out. But we've got to fix that problem where somebody wants access to our games and cannot get it. Could not agree with that. That is the first priority, whether it be because you're a YouTube TV subscriber and you can't watch it, or because the ridiculously outdated blackout rules. You have both those things that need to be, and I believe will be, tended to. I think accessing baseball games will be better. I can't imagine it getting worse, but will be better this time in 14 months.
Yeah, I would think. They're just trying to figure it out. They're in a crossroads right now, transition phase, and it's taken a while to get it right.
I haven't really had any luck on streaming services when they do games, whether it be Peacock, whether it be, when they do games on YouTube or, Amazon Prime. I always have issues with the Thursday Prime games.
Mm-hmm.
Like the app just, nothing's in sync. It'll cut out every now and then. You have to reload the app.
On your TV?
Yeah.
Really? I've never had that problem.
Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's just for everyone, but I have had issues with running sporting events off of apps outside of being, on terrestrial cable or YouTube TV. So I hope they fix that if they're putting all these things on, in the future. Every sporting event is going to be on Amazon Prime or Apple TV or whatever. I hope they make it a little bit better, because the soccer games on Apple TV, I had huge issues as well. Again, I'm not blaming the app.
You got a spotty Wi-Fi?
It could be a Wi-Fi situation. I don't know. It doesn't seem spotty when I'm doing
my
everything
Wi-Fi comes
else.
and goes every now and then, but it seems once every month or so I got some kind of Wi-Fi issue.
I'm not painting it on everybody. This is just certainly a myself problem. I'm sure there's others out there with the same issue. I just always worry about sporting events I really want to watch that are on these apps that may cut out, and you have to really entrust your...
I only have a problem with one, and that's Hulu. For some reason, after like 3 hours, I have to turn the TV off and go reboot the computer, and then it works. But Hulu always
it needs to rest.
Like buffers, it goes to a new whatever episode. It's like line just keeps going and going. But I watched the Chiefs game on Peacock, no problem whatsoever.
I didn't watch it on Peacock.
People bitched about it. I guess they had no problem because 27 million people watched it.
Well, I guess I didn't. I had my own little protest going. I wasn't going to watch it.
They set a streaming record. NBC's gamble paid off in huge ways, and expect more streaming-only playoff games in the future, despite some reservations from fans. The Chiefs' 26-7 wild card win over the Dolphins that streamed exclusively on Peacock set the record for the most streamed live event in the United States history, as well as, quote, driving the internet to its largest U.S. usage ever on a single day and the largest internet event ever. That is per a press release from NBC parent Comcast.
I don't think that's surprising, because NFL games are almost always the most watched games on TV. And if they got 27 million streaming, how many would they have gotten had it been on network television somewhere?
This game usually averages about 28 million, so about the same.
Its average audience of 23 million viewers, including Peacock, local stations in Miami and Kansas City, and NFL Plus, set the U.S. record for streaming, and it was up 6% from last year's primetime AFC wildcard game between the Chargers and Jaguars. How about that? They got a good matchup. I mean, they got the optimal matchup for that.
Yeah.
I mean, if they would have gotten like the Browns and Texans, the Buccaneers and Eagles, it wouldn't have happened.
They also got miserable weather over most of the country, where people weren't doing anything but sitting at home.
That's a big factor, man.
Yeah.
You're exactly right.
And all the Swifties paid $5 to see their girl on TV.
I don't know. That could be overstated a little bit.
Yeah,
I don't think people tune in just to see her, the cutaway of her 2 or 3 times during the game.
You don't know how dedicated these fans are there, Doug. They wait outside her apartment to see her arm hang out a window.
I hate to keep repeating myself. I just don't get it.
I don't either, Doug. I'm just saying
there's nothing unique about her. She's not Elvis or Michael Jackson doing things and doing music that no one's ever heard before. She's just another singer.
She's hitting the perfect age demographic, Doug. It's a smart
But she's not the only one that's ever done that. Don't they all try to hit the same demographic?
Not like she does. She hooks them in early, and they're zombies 10 years later. They're dedicated to it.
I just, all these years later, we still hear Elvis music and Michael Jackson music and that kind of thing. Elton John's another. We'll hear this stuff for the next 50 years. But Taylor Swift music, you think that's going to still be huge? Decades from now, people say, oh, I remember that Taylor Swift. I don't remember any Taylor Swift songs necessarily. Of course, I'm not in the demographic she's looking to go for. It just doesn't seem like she's anywhere near the groundbreaking artist that some of the other superstars before her were. I'm missing something.
She's attractive.
You're missing.
But aren't all female singers attractive? How many of them aren't? How many female
Jackson,
pop
who's the most attractive female pop singer at the moment?
Dua Lipa.
It's a nice play.
More with you than do a feature.
Nice.
Yeah,
it's a nice play.
It's hard for women to stand up there and sing love songs and be uglier than a mud fence. It doesn't work.
She's first of all, her discography is all bangers.
Clip that off.
Her what now?
Her discography. Say that on Balloon Party.
Discography.
Please, I'll pay you to say that on Balloon
Music
Party.
you look up and down. She has a lot of hits, and she connects with an audience, so people love her.
I know that she
crazy.
does. I'm not disputing that she has hits and connects with the audience. I'm just wondering why her and not someone else similar to her.
Well, the market decided that it's her.
I understand. I get that too. I'm saying why?
Got a good
What is it about her? What's the hook that makes her so much more appealing than all the others?
Well, when she was dissed by Kanye, she became big time.
Iggy is. I think she became the Miss America sweetheart after how she handled the Kanye situation. Now, I guess her discography does have some
Stop saying discography
bangers on it. I don't really listen to it, so I can't be a super judge. I'm judging just based upon the followers. I don't listen to her music as much. I've heard some songs. I'm not clueless.
They all sound pretty much the same.
They all sound very similar, but so do country songs as well. So you can't just say Taylor Swift. I'm trying to defend her a little bit. The fan base, I'm right there with you, Doug. I just don't get it. I don't see the pizzazz or the...
Yeah, I don't either.
And no controversy, which is nice, but still, that's usually what brings out the real popularity. Mm-hmm. I just don't get it.
Yeah, I don't either. But there's no doubt that she's the biggest thing going.
She got banger, though.
And what does that mean?
She can put her discography up against.
Oh, that's right.
I think C.D. Longo and Doug Biggs can put their discography up against anybody with all their bangers. If you are injured in a car accident and you need an attorney, you need the best one you can find. If any of my family or friends are ever injured in an accident, I want them to call Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo at Longo Biggs Injury Law. For nearly 10 years, Doug Biggs and C.D. Longo have been recognized as the top 40 under 40 personal injury lawyers by Super Lawyers, the National Academy of Personal Injury Attorneys, and the National Trial Lawyers Association. They're not the churn and burn type of law firm. With Doug and CD, you won't be just another file lost in the shuffle. If you have questions about your case, you'll talk to Doug or CD personally, and they will handle every aspect of your case the entire way. They'll get to know you, and you will get to know them. Doug and CD are local, friendly, professional, and most importantly, excellent personal injury lawyers. And they are listeners of the show. Go online at longobiggs.com. That's LONGOBIGGS.com. Longo Biggs. Remember, the choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements and also thinking about it. Doug, look at your tufts of wisps. Tufts of wisps.
Boy, it's even
full
denser today.
They're
especially thick today.
It's just growing like...
Iggy, you're right.
Yeah.
You literally got a peregrine falcon that could live in there. You wouldn't even see it.
The whole bird's nest.
You have birds of prey in there?
No, not prey. I have birds trying to hide in the deep thicket. Yeah, I've got the whole front half of my hair back. I've seen some old pictures of myself going back just like last year, and I go, oh, wow, I was like balder than I thought, because it really didn't bother me. But when the people from St. Louis Hair Restoration came around and said, hey, how about a hair transplant? And you can talk about what you went through, whether it hurt or not, and it did not hurt. I didn't have any pain at all. And we can see the results right there on YouTube. And you can see how thickly it grew in, thanks to the fine work of Dr. Christopher Polenga, the founder of the company, Greg Kryling, both patients of their own product. For me, it was the old FUE procedure that I have, where they take hair grafts from the side and back of your head and reposition them, transplant them to a position where you are thin. And as you can see now, for me, it's been coming up on 7 months, and I've got almost all the front of my hair back. I didn't think it would go this well, but it certainly has. They did great work for me, and they'll do the same for you. You ought to go to their website, stlouishairrestoration.com, and just take a little gander at some of the before and after pictures. It's really remarkable, some of the work that they've done. So if your thinning hairline, your baldness is something that's bothered you, I always say, you only live once. Go ahead and do something about it. If it's really a concern to you, if you think this would upgrade your appearance and the way you think about yourself, your confidence, go ahead, check them out, talk to them. They've got all kinds of options, not just like the FUE procedure that I had. They also have a laser cap that works for people like Jackson.
Works great. Put it on every night, about 6 minutes. Super easy to use, super helpful. We're liking where the hair growth is going, and you can like it too. You get a free consultation when you go check out our friends over at St. Louis Hair Restoration. And if you mention TMA, $250 off a hair treatment. That's right. You just mention TMA. You get $250 off of a hair treatment over with our friends over at St. Louis Hair Restoration. Go get a consultation. Get that confidence back with our friends at St. Louis Hair Restoration.
Another way to start feeling good is with Mentality, a local healthcare facility specifically dedicated to helping men feel and perform at their very best. If you're dealing with low energy or motivation, you're putting on some weight, noticing you're not putting on muscle as easily as you used to, those are symptoms of low testosterone. Even if you've tried testosterone before, not everyone understands the blood chemistry in men's bodies. Mentality can help. The normal range for testosterone is large. If you've been to a doctor and they told you that you were normal without understanding the range or testing your free testosterone, it was not fully looked at. Come get checked with Mentality. Testosterone therapy helps men regain normal function and restores their ability to perform normally at all levels. It's Mentality online at lowtusa.com. Mentality at lowtusa.com. Boy, this Taylor Swift thing has surprisingly activated the people.
Really?
Tay-Tay isn't my... Doug, do you pronounce it milieu?
I never used the word, frankly.
But you've got to respect what she's built. Plus, I hear she's a size queen. Papa,
Okay.
Shout out, Domsey, Admiral Pager. Doug?
That's a guy you really need to take advice from. You need
Admiral Pager?
Does Jackie Boy think it makes him cool to say things like discography?
I think so.
It doesn't, bro. It makes you sound like a pompous ass. Do better. That's from John Lithgow's Harry Henderson.
It's the literal definition of a musical.
That's what it's called.
A catalog.
But we don't use that kind of terminology
Read
here.
a book.
Go to YouTube and check, or just go
Chase this dough and get money.
Go to Google.
That's the point.
Go to Google, type in any musician, and then it'll say Taylor Swift. It'll say early years, blah, blah, blah. Then it'll say discography.
But we don't like the...
That was one of the best examples. Yeah, check Jackson just won. But I'm completely with Iggy. Like it's the actual definition, and so maybe Jackson's too smart.
You're
for the
pompous
show.
for using the right word there. Loser. Whatever.
Jackson's experiencing all the emotions of
Listen,
the TMA host experience in a matter of 2 minutes. You go from being irritated and not giving a damn. Hey guys, shocking that the fancy picture house lady calls it discography. That's from Big Tough. What does that mean? The fancy picture house lady? What does that mean?
Calling me a lady, that's going to really hurt my
I see. I have no, I didn't, I'm like, what are you talking about? Do we play a soundbite? Fancy picture house lady. So that's in reference to you liking movie theaters?
Whatever.
Don't get frustrated
Now, Jackson, I do need to know. I don't want to dig in. Do you call it a picture house?
Yeah.
Oh, God bless America.
When I worked at the movie theater in Columbia, I would say, just another wonderful night at the picture house.
Okay, stop.
That kind of sound facetious. So you're playing with it. I didn't know.
Actual chain of theaters in England is called Picture House.
Yeah, well, we don't live in England.
All these Festus Fats firing on Casper for using a word like discography while they use a laptop full of Hardee's breakfasts. Need to shut up. Go off, vocabulary king. That's from Little Tommy Tribbins.
I didn't really
and he won Texter of the Year, I think, in 2022.
He did. I didn't think it was that bold of a word to use. It's just the definition of a musical catalog.
It was out of line. Why don't they just say her song? Instead of her discography.
Because that's just I don't know. I blame Merriam-Webster. I didn't make the words.
Well, somebody made it up just in the last couple of years because it was never before called a discography.
There's no way.
Here's his list of songs. Here's her list of songs.
Isn't that really who created the dictionary? Her name was Miriam?
No, I think it was Daniel Webster.
It's the last name, Merriam and Webster.
Jackson's getting some support from his compadres at Horton Watkins. Burke, these sad fat pores don't use words that big. Discography is a tough one for him. That's from Sweet Sweet Kai, and he's now in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
The term discography became popular in the 1930s by collectors of jazz records.
But nobody used it.
Now, did Sweet Sweet Kai happen to use that in West Virginia? Because he probably would have got some stare.
Right. New Hampshire. Oh, it's great there. Yeah,
That's
we
what
like your
shows up
discography.
West Virginia.
Here, Tim, this is what shows up on Google when you type in Taylor Swift.
Okay, this is just between you and Tim now?
Discography, yeah, that's what we're doing.
Well, it says life and career, artistry, achievements, cultural status, wealth, discography, filmography.
Okay.
Why did it say film, Doug? But they didn't. They say filmography because that's the word.
But only it's been used just in the last few years. Has it become widely used?
Well, get off of Jackson because he wants to pronounce something the right way.
I don't want him bringing these kind of words into the show. I just think it's bad for all of us.
Text Bill here.
Those are the people who are trying to look up the definition.
Discography. How about her songs?
Shout out to Mother Monster for her big Emmy last night, sweeping Best Male and Supporting Male Actor for her roles in Tu Wong Fu. Thanks, it's from Maury and Little Jack. Any chance you guys get promoted to an even smaller, more poorly wallpapered studio with louder wee sounds?
I don't believe the Emmys were last night.
Yes, they were.
Were they?
Yeah. They certainly were.
Oh, did she win one?
I don't even know.
She's getting close to the GOAT,
about.
as I told her she would. Or EGOT.
Who are we talking about again?
Emmy,
Mother
Grammy.
Monster?
Who the hell
Emmy,
is Mother
Grammy,
Monster?
Oscar, Tony. Did she win an Emmy last night?
I don't believe so.
I don't even know.
Was she even
Who's
nominated?
Mother Monster?
Didn't he say she won it for the male role?
She did not.
Well, I'm just saying that was
Pedro
what was
Pascal.
said. That's what threw me off. That's
I
what
mean,
kind
she
of
wasn't on any TV shows last year, so I don't know.
Elton John just became EGOT.
Oh, yeah, he did.
What's an EGOT?
That's
Emmy,
when you...
Grammy, Oscar, Tony.
Yeah,
Oh.
won all four.
Sounds like some Harry Potter animal.
Yeah.
Aragon.
Did he win an Emmy for something?
Yes.
He did.
For what?
His special, his last concert.
That's all Gaga's got to do is do a special. She'll win an Emmy.
Okay.
Didn't she win one already for American Horror Story?
No, that was a Golden Globe. She wasn't even nominated for an Emmy for Horror Story.
Jackson, take your millennial ass back to the womb. It's a catalog, not a discography. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
All right, heard loud and clear. I will retire that word from my vocab. Yeah, I've heard enough.
Guys, this isn't anything new. I remember when Jessica Simpson dated Tony Romo, and the cameras always panned to Joe Simpson wearing a Jackson Burkett shawl, making out with another man. It's from Carlos Spicy. Doug, you know him. He's going to the Hall of Fame.
I know him, but I don't recall that shot. When did you guys stop liking a gentleman in cut-off blue jeans sleeping with a lot of black men after Easter church?
That's an
When was
oldie,
the question?
but always a goodie.
And you guys never answered the question.
I think this is the one time where I can't remember the context of what this was.
I'm sure I didn't pull it out of thin
It's
air.
hard to really describe anything out of context with that. But
I'm also technically not a millennial. I'm Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Oh, that explains it.
Millennial would be like Plowhawk, I believe, is a millennial.
I do believe I am.
That's born before the turn of the century?
Yeah, 89. I think it's 88 to 95, I think, or 94.
I mean, I was born in 98. I always thought Gen Z was like kids who were born before 9/11 but can't remember it.
I'm not into her music. I really don't listen to Taylor Swift music. But she just seems like a down-to-earth, nice person.
Mm-hmm.
She's out there high-fiving the fans, and she opened up the window to the suite. She's dancing, and they have a picture of her, I think, earlier in the season. She was cleaning up the suite. People like leaving their cups and plates there, and she's picking them up and putting them in the trash.
Yeah, she absolutely seems like a wonderful person.
Yeah, nobody trashing her personality. She does. She seems like a down-to-earth gal.
A lot of people trash her personality, so she's fake.
Ooh.
I'm more concerned with the fan base and kind of the lengths they go to be, quote-unquote, involved with the movement. I think her discography is...
Okay.
tremendous.
You know, from the day he arrived at Florida State, I have been a big Cook guy.
What's wrong with it? It sounds like he got like an actual frog in there.
Well, he might.
She's rock chalk. Met her freshman year. That's from Todd Racing, Doug.
Oh, really?
She went to Kansas.
Yeah, rock chalk.
Going to classes.
The Swifties have to step up and put an end to the Mahomes family, though. That's from Tervis Parish.
I don't believe that's up to the Swifties.
I don't follow. What does that mean?
How are you going to put a... I guess they don't like her palling around with Mrs. Mahomes in the suite?
Oh, they don't like that?
I don't know what they like and what they don't like.
Jackson, are you aware?
It's hugging them. I mean, they're all out there.
Well, we got to hate something.
Jackson Mahomes is a bad guy. Brittany Mahomes is a massive thirst bucket. That's from Tervis Parish.
Gosh. Well, they were on that series, the Quarterbacks. Was that what it was called on HBO?
I think so.
It was Mahomes and Kirk Cousins,
Desmond Ritter.
Marcus
Mariota.
Yeah.
Oh, Mariota. Why did I say Desmond Ritter?
I don't know.
Wrong.
And Cousins came off so well that I think a lot of his stock rose because a lot of people really liked him. And maybe that's when people decided they didn't like Mahomes' wife. I don't know.
Yeah, leave her alone. She did nothing to you.
No, she didn't.
Think about that.
Man, it is deep.
But people like to complain. They'll find the smallest things to complain about.
Yeah, but now you see Kelsey in the tabloids, which you never saw before. And I don't know I don't know what to believe anymore. Somebody wrote...
Probably not the tabloids?
Well, two of them said that Jason Kelsey's not a big fan of Taylor Swift, and him and his wife don't like her, and there's a tension between the families now because Jason Kelsey doesn't like Taylor, and it led to a big fight over Christmas.
Do you think maybe that was used to sell the tabloid?
Yeah, there's no... They got the Christmas inside?
Yeah. I wouldn't pay a lot of attention to that.
Yeah, I don't, but you never saw that before. Now Kelsey's getting dragged through the mud for having an argument on Christmas Day and storming out.
Yeah.
She wasn't happy with him throwing his helmet. It almost led to a breakup.
Oh, please.
Nice.
This is what we worry about here.
I don't worry about it. It just pops up on my phone and I read it.
Yeah.
You can send your emails in. We'll read those, too. The morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design Air, sponsor of our email of the day. Sweet Mother of Mercy, Doug. We read that email from a listener in the earlier portion of the 7 o'clock hour. Design Air came out quick, fast, in a hurry. Looking at the highs, nothing in the 50s between now and next Thursday, according to my Apple forecast.
What is December?
Excuse me?
It is December.
January.
But we are going to be in the 40s toward the end of the week.
Not according to what I have, but you got something different?
Yeah, I got 47 on Saturday or Sunday, and then next Monday and Tuesday.
Saturday, I got a high of 18, so you have a big discrepancy.
30-degree difference? I hope you're right, Iggy. I hope
you too.
Friday is going to be the next really cold day, where it's going to be 0 and maybe 12 degrees, 15 degrees. Tomorrow's in the 20s, and it's in the 30s, and then Friday a little chilly, but then Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday starting to warm up again.
All right. I'm just telling you what they have. They have a low of 3 on Friday and a high of 18.
On Friday.
Right.
Yeah. I said getting into the weekend. I said Friday's going to be...
excuse me. Saturday, low of 3, high of 18.
No, your app's wrong.
Oh, how do you know?
Is it really going to be 40 on Saturday? Because me and Madison kind of want to go on a hike.
It says 18.
Let's see what your big channel
I'm
has.
getting stir crazy.
Doug Channel 4 is about to
shot.
take some heat.
You did sign that.
Either way, it's cold. And go to Design Air Heating and Cooling, designairservice.com, and work with Seth Goldcamp. I'm a client, Doug's a client, and Iggy's a client, and Seth takes care of this audience. Design Air Heating and Cooling. Just go to designairservice.com and work with the official HVAC provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Jackson, QFTA Daily returns today.
Yes, sir.
Yep. Might have to be from the home office, though. We have a sales meeting at 11, and then I have a doctor's appointment, Doug. So it might have to be in the afternoon. But man, we're getting some emails for QFTA. QFTA Daily, T McKernan at InsideSTL.com, TMCKERNAN at InsideSTL.com. Subscribe to the podcast, the Tim McKernan Show podcast. Iggy, what have you discovered?
Yeah, they changed it. Saturday's going to be a little chilly.
Uh-oh.
But then we get
no hike, Plowhawk.
But then we get in the 30s and 40s.
Man, I was really hoping that just my app was on tilt.
I mean, tomorrow and Thursday, 20s and 30s, so we're done with the 20 below zero wind chills.
Plowsy, instead of hiking, you're going to have to find a nice discography that you like and just listen to that.
I may have to bust out maybe some Young Jeezy discography over the weekend.
Oh. Saturday, 18 with a low at 9. Throw away that Cricket Wireless free phone. That's from Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month, Beer Cats.
Yeah, I just changed it. I just took a quick look this morning. I got my days mixed up. But I did say going into next week, we're in the 30s and 40s, so did I get that right?
Beer Cats, the action's back on you.
Been a minute since I heard that one, Plowhawk. That's a great one.
Yeah, I wanted to eat the tension. I know the listeners. I looked at the text line. They're very happy. They're active. They're not a huge fan of you calling it December when it's mid-January. So I wanted to ease everybody and just focus on, it's a new year.
First day back after a holiday weekend, so it takes a while for us
coming back from.
You think people are angry because of that?
Yeah, well, they're angry and we're not on our A game.
Well, they're pissed. We were off and they were not yet today. For the most part, I think a lot of people still worked. Madison worked from home yesterday.
I left my house 3 times in Friday, Saturday, Sunday in a 4-day span. One day to mail a bill, so I walked out to the mailbox. After the snow, was it Saturday morning? Whatever day it snowed.
What date it's?
I don't know.
Saturday I got up and I wasn't going to wait, even though I didn't have to go anywhere. I said, I'm going to clean the car now because it's getting cold. I don't want the snow to freeze in the windshield. So I cleaned the car. And then yesterday I noticed that I had like 8 miles to go before I was out of gas. So I said, you got to put gas in the car when it's this cold. So I went and got gas yesterday. So it's the only 3 times I left the house.
Okay. It sounds like we're getting ready for another installment of Iggy Has Never.
I'm waiting.
No, I'm not giving you free stuff anymore. If somebody wants to sponsor, go ahead.
Oh, so just by talking, you feel like you're giving the audience
I thought the
free
Cracker
stuff.
Barrel one was.
No, I'm just saying I only
winner.
left the house 3 times. I wasn't going on that stuff. It's freezing.
Yeah.
I had to get gas. It was freezing yesterday. I had to get gas. Got to stand out there. Even if you put $20 in, which takes like 5 seconds to fill up nowadays.
Oh, we can get through this. You got a good coat, gloves.
I don't know.
We can get through this.
I'm wearing 2 pairs of long johns right now. So if I wanted to get it on, it would take me 20 minutes to probably unlayer.
Oh, for heaven's sakes!
I don't own a pair of gloves.
So you know, Madison.
Why don't you have gloves?
You don't have gloves?
I've never found a pair.
Oh, buddy.
You're supposed to buy them. You're not just supposed to look
I know,
for
but
them.
whenever I'm out, I don't look for a pair, and then I think, God, I should have got some gloves.
That was a good step back.
If you got an extra pair, bring some in tomorrow.
How about mittens?
I would take a nice pair of mittens. I don't have any.
I went to Herman and walked around to little shops, and I got some really nice. I didn't bring them today because I don't think they were needed, but really good wool mittens.
Oh, did you?
Took them to the Packer game. Yeah, they were amazing.
Mittens are nice.
Man, they're insulated too on the inside. Wow.
Are mittens the ones that have no fingers? Just a thumb?
That would be a mitten. Yep.
Yeah.
Almost like a mini boxing glove.
Kind of hard to hold a cigarette with mittens.
That is true.
I suppose you could. You could pinch it. You could use them like pincers.
Like those
pincers.
Kind of like your mittens, or muffins, or whatever those things are over there.
Yeah, but it could be an issue. So maybe mittens aren't for you.
I'm shocked you don't have mittens.
I just start my mug-and-ass car and I go sit inside for 15 minutes, come out, it's toasty warm. Put my hands in my pockets when I come into work, and that's...
Hence the nickname Pockets.
I wasn't on that show for that nickname.
It just stuck.
The last car they gave me had a steering wheel warmer, heater.
Yeah, Mike's got one.
Yeah, the RAV4 doesn't have one.
Oh, boy, that's nice. They got great cars here at Mug-and-Ass.
They do.
Acura.
So dependable. I knew starting that thing this morning, I knew it was going to be toasty. I knew there'd be no problem driving.
Yeah.
Peace of mind.
Yeah. You probably got the 5W30 in there.
My old car, I would have probably warmed that thing up 20 times during the weekend.
Yeah.
Just to make sure it started.
Mm-hmm. And then
like
being...
a little reverse that you might see in football. The P's with the D. Oh, what they going to do? He's shooting the roof, Daddy. Oh, look at that. Look at this, look at that.
I think I like the leading
like Vin
up.
Scully's calling the game.
I think I like the leading up with the reverse.
Looks like they're doing a little reverse.
The roof daddy comes out of nowhere.
The reverse.
Well, I didn't hardly understand any of the words until I got to look at this, look at that.
At the beginning, he said, "Oh, look at the reverse. It's like football." And then he gets excited. It's just a great call. I think.
You think that was his son scoring the goal? Must have been.
What's a roof daddy?
It's when you shoot the puck at the top of the net.
They call it daddy?
They call it all kinds of things. Maybe we could hear it one more time and it would clear it up.
Looks like they're doing a little reverse that you might see in football. The piece with the D. Oh, what they gonna do? He's shooting their roof, Daddy. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Look at that.
God almighty.
Wonderful. Such a wonderful call.
I mean, that's one of the best. You have to win an ESPY for that. You've got to bring this guy out.
Has that gone viral or you just find that? There's got to be thousands of
Is there a YouTube of that, Jackson?
I found it on maybe Barstool or some retweeted it or something, but I remember finding
There's a video of the goal, but
is there?
I
Okay.
remember finding it, dropping everything I was doing so I could go clip it so I didn't forget because I was like, this is freaking gold. this only comes around once every couple of years.
Said there was more after the goal.
So I'm wondering if there's a million views of that or we're just the only ones that find it funny.
No, I remember Barstool because a lot of people were theorizing that gentleman soiled his pants.
Or did something, yeah.
And it hit the Twitter news cycle for about a day. So, gotta catch it, comment. I don't know how much more we're gonna get out of the world of Manitoba junior hockey, but if that's all we got,
It's a win.
What a great harvest.
It's a great win.
How old was the kid who scored? These little kids or
probably 6.
Oh, okay.
No way.
Still,
I just said that because that's what you say.
A 6-year-old went roof daddy?
I was about to say.
Probably, I don't know, teenager or something.
Those things don't get off the ground.
Guys, wasn't that Marsh calling Maryville? That's from Turvish Parish. Is that Marshy Marsh and his Playful Posse?
No, he does call Maryville games, but that was not Marshy.
Okay.
He's got a Playful Posse. The ladies love his style. Is he a man in love these days, Jackson?
Yeah.
He is?
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if he's super public about it. I don't know. I don't want to say too much. But
let's go and get into his love life.
All right, let's get into it.
He's a man in love.
Is he?
Juniors are 16 to 20, Turvis Parish.
Yeah, you're preaching the wrong choir here. I don't know much about that. I would assume juniors is anything below pro, right? Or college? Am I wrong? Doug?
I don't know the exact definition of junior hockey. I don't know. It seems like there's different ages from high school on up.
The pastry chef named Mesvin says there's more after that clip. He just keeps going on and going on. He says that in the YouTube chat.
I can't find it.
Well, send us a link, buddy.
I'm looking on Twitter.
Do some work.
Send your emails in as well. The morning after at InsideSTL.com for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. Text in for our text line 314-881-TMA5. And that is how you can be a friend of the feather and interact with this radio program. Just save it in your phone, and the next thing you know, you're interacting with the show anytime you want. Mm-hmm. Do you want to support the EDF Group, sponsor a TMA? It's real simple. Do you have a fire extinguisher where you work? The answer is yes, you certainly do. So please email the EDF Group at fire@theedfgroup.com so a technician can come out and explain to your team how the EDF Group can save your company money. Again, that email address is fire@theedfgroup.com. The EDF Group is hot and will prevent your facility from having hot fires. Experience the EDF Group difference. Learn more at the edfgroup.com. All right, let's close out the Munganess St. Louis Acura, Munganess Burkhardt, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour at 8:31. Take a commercial break, come back with lots of fun with audio, and Jackson with a really bountiful email of links this morning. That is coming your way on the other side of our break. This is The Morning After, presented to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have 2 questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen, and my law firm Brown & Crouppen sure can help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown & Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you or fake you or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
You've heard us talking about Mark Hanna from Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Mark and his team provide a personalized, holistic approach discussing cash flow, liquidity, debt, investments, insurance, taxes, and they pull it all together into a strategy that fits for each individual client. Start the new year off with a judgment-free conversation with Mark Hanna. Visit evergreenstl.com to learn more. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Chow Chow on the Hill is your one-stop shop for all your pet supplies. As soon as you walk through their doors, you and your pet are considered family and treated with superior service and personalized attention. Jessica is the owner and is a certified pet nutritionist and is passionate about educating her clients on the product that will keep your pets happy and healthy. My favorite part about Chow Chow is its connection with All Paws Safe Haven, an organization that helps shelter animals find forever homes. To learn more about Chow Chow, visit CIAOCHOWSTL.com or stop by and tell them Plowsy sent you.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of rosé prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
This is wide receiver Luther Burden III. Come support NIL and get a quote from my friend James Carlton.
Thanks, Luther. That's right. For every quote you mention, Luther Burden III will make a donation to NIL on your behalf. Getting a quote is easy. Just go online at carltoninsurance.net. Call or text 314-961-4800. If you have drivers under the age of 25, if you're seeing rising rates, give us a call or text us 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. Let's keep the momentum going.
I get asked all the time by people, if I'm in an accident, what should I do? And while yes, you should call the police, exchange insurance information, and take pictures of the scene, all those things are important. But the most important thing you need to do is hire a personal injury lawyer. This is Doug Biggs from Longo Biggs Injury Law. And if you've been hurt by someone else's negligence, don't take on the insurance company yourself. Insurance companies have teams of people and a playbook designed to keep you running in circles so they can pay you as little money as possible for your accident claim. If you don't have a lawyer, they know you can't bring your claim to court, and they will never give you full value. We recently took an offer from an insurance company without a lawyer on the case from $12,000 to $200,000. You can't get that kind of result without an attorney on your case. Even if you don't hire us, you need to hire a personal injury attorney. Check us out online at longobigs.com.
Yeah, that Plowboy's an interesting dude, but he loves animals, and he wants to help adoptable dogs find homes. With TMA listeners, catch Plowsy live on the TMA socials each week, highlighting a dog up for adoption from Open Door Animal Sanctuary in House Springs and St. Charles County Pet Adoption Center. Plowsy's Pup of the Week, brought to you by Chow Chow on the Hill. Everything you need to keep your pet's tail wagging. Find out more at TMASTL.com. KPN HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
I have a little banana in my beard. Who wants to come and fish it out?
I won't. Good potassium, though.
No. Welcome, friends. This show's called The Morning After, and it's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. My name is Tim McKernan. What do you think of that?
Yeah.
That's Doug Vaughn. Sitting across from me is the Plowhawk. He was in and he was out, yes.
Out.
The door's cracked for like our indoor-outdoor cat. kind of like you leave the garage door pinched a little bit. You're not for sure when Mittens is going to come, but...
Just hoping he comes back.
No question mark. Juniors is 16 to 20. Midget major 18U. Midget minor 16U. Bantam 14U. Pee-wee 12U. Squirt 10U. Mite 8U. Mini mite 6U. Tervis Parish.
Sick. That's the system here. Is that the system in Canada, too?
I think what's sad is what he just did. Not that Jackson didn't know that, but the fact that somebody did and then proceeded to text it into an HD2 program.
Yeah.
So good job, Jackson. I'm on Jackson's side.
It just seems to be so many junior leagues in hockey. You always hear about somebody's going up to Canada or Minnesota or somewhere for high school or Milwaukee, and they're playing in this junior league or that junior league, and they're all over Canada. It's hard to keep it straight unless you're really locked into that.
Nice.
So that's the end of that.
Iggy's back.
All right.
Doors opening, doors closing.
Now, where did you go, Iggy?
To the bathroom.
All right.
Water.
Doug, Sadie Hawkins.
Okay.
Jackson sent in a wonderful series of morning links.
Okay.
Joe Buck and Troy Aikman earned praise for sharp criticism Eagles. Barstool Sports CEO Erica Ayers-Badayan? I thought her name was Erica Nardini. I guess she's remarried since I last
Perhaps
heard from her. Is reportedly leaving the company. Oilers' Evander Kane allegedly had ex-wife thrown out of his game in Detroit.
That sounds the leader in the clubhouse.
CES has almost fully succeeded in chasing sex tech off its show floors.
Don't know what that means.
Never heard of the male clitoris? Add this banjo string to your bow.
Not sure what that means either.
My husband has been sending money and sexual messages to women he met online. Those are your choices.
How about the player who threw his wife out of the game?
Evander Kane, well, he's the one who hit the goalpost, and had he not, the Blues never win the Stanley Cup in 2019.
Right.
I mean, if you look back at what the butterfly effect, I mean...
Think about that. There seems to be no love lost between Evander Kane and his ex-wife. The Oilers left winger had Anna Kane, who is the mother of his 3-year-old daughter, Kensington, allegedly removed from his game against the Red Wings on Thursday in Detroit because he has a restraining order against her. The outlet also shared screenshots that surfaced on social media, which showed since-expired posts on Anna's Instagram story claiming she was removed. Need 15 security to walk me out because your ween is so little. I added it on the fly.
Did you?
Anna, who was wearing a Red Wings hat, reportedly wrote over a photo of her being escorted out of the arena. Sorry, Detroit Red Wings, I got kicked out because my ex was crying. And then she posted more pictures of herself. Looks like she likes Brio. In a separate video, which was posted to X by user... Doug, do you pronounce it Keller Memiyamoto?
I've never even tried, Tim.
Wow.
Anna said, I had my Michigan license with my married name that I showed to the security. She came prepared for the hater. I knew he was going to do something. He was so mad. Kane was granted a temporary restraining order against Anna after accusing her of domestic violence and faking a pregnancy in court documents obtained by TMZ.
Okay.
What in the hell is this?
Damn, she got the Brio Deluxe.
Got the Brio Deluxe.
What does that mean? Big lips?
Really big.
It is filler season, isn't it? Isn't it filler season?
It seems to be.
She looks like she's the mayor of Filler District.
Ducktown.
So a restraining order means she can't even go to the games?
I guess so. Are they even, if they're not married, then like she can't be kicked out of an entire arena just because she's an ex.
TRO, yo, TRO, yo.
That's insane.
Does TMZ have every police department in every city on their payroll?
Seem to. Seem to.
That's a serious charge.
Can someone from Instagram please get back to me about why my account is deleted?
Yeah, that's a heartbreaker.
Why did you post that you thought Instagram would see it?
So, Evander, there's a lot of meat on that bone that I just read.
Yeah.
I don't even know where to pick from. Sounds like a healthy relationship.
I guess in a restraining order, they can't come within a mile or two or
Well,
a
it
certain
depends on
mile.
what the yardage
Whatever.
usually is.
Yeah, and that would be within the distance. And word got down to him, I guess, on the bench that she's here. So, he has someone call the police, and the police come and remove her?
Security.
Yeah.
Little Caesars Arena, Doug. It's not Joe Louis anymore. That rests in peace.
Yeah.
You were in that arena, I assume?
I was, yeah.
Little Caesars
That was an old barn, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Right there on the river.
Yeah. You could see Canada.
Right next to Cobo Arena, where the Pistons used to play years ago.
No, is that right? I thought they were Salt Palace. Was it Auburn
Well,
Hills? No,
I'm
Salt
going-
Palace
I'm
is
going way back.
Auburn Hills Palace, wasn't it? Jackson?
Yeah, I think they played
Palace
there
of
too.
Auburn Hills.
Yeah, there you go.
But when I was a kid, they always played in Cobo Arena.
I think that's right. Of course, the Malice at the Palace.
Right.
Well, I guess if she's got to go, she's got to go. So they ran her.
All right, which link do you want next? This banana clitoris?
It's a really strong one.
Is it really?
Okay.
Well, noteworthy if nothing else.
All right.
Didn't fan 2. Put it in, or maybe not. Sex experts are telling us that this year is all about outer course, with shallowing, stimulating the entrance to the vagina, and the return of fingering and the humble ham job, set to be the biggest sex trends of 2020.
That's not a trend.
So that's shallowing? They're going back to the basics?
It must be a great year to have a microween. I mean, because then you're always shallowing.
Yeah.
But you know, every one of these pro microwave articles is from some really sad guy.
With a microwave?
It's almost like a support group that they have, and now they're all writing articles.
Justifying his own
We can get
situation.
enough articles being pro microwave. We can get our movement.
And Doug, what is the humble hand job?
I don't know. I'm no expert in this.
I just read
Sounds so folksy.
I think it's the 2-finger approach.
It's all about focusing on external stimuli that isn't penetrative, whether that's with hands, toys, or even dirty talk. But whether you're engaging in a bit of self-love or pleasuring your partner, we bet you didn't know that you could. Just read what's in the prompter.
Okay.
One more time. We bet you didn't know that you could enhance your outer course by focusing on the male clitoris.
Read this dumbass text.
The frenulum, better known as the banjo string, is the band of tissue that connects the foreskin to the head of the other side of the penis.
She has romantic, she has family, and she has also sexy modes.
That sounds dirty.
There are actually also frenulums in other parts of the body, such as in the mouth under the tongue.
Oh,
man, we got clits in our mouths.
No,
Under the tongue? That means every time you brush your teeth, potential orgasm?
heads up.
It's the thing that connects your tongue to the bottom of your mouth.
Hey, diddle diddle.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your tongue would just flap nonstop.
Ooh, we got a little clitoris there.
Clip that off.
That's hot.
And while you've probably read horror stories of it snapping, it's an often overlooked erogenous zone. Doug, my tongue's an erogenous zone.
It isn't.
Generally, the penis is just seen as the whole entity, when in fact, there's so much more to it. That comes from Ness Cooper.
Stop it, Ness.
There's a lot more to the structure of the penis, and different parts of the shaft have different functions we must pay attention to.
We don't have to pay attention to any
Looks
of
like
that.
they're doing a little reverse that you might see in football. The penis with the D. Oh, what they gonna do? He's shooting the roof, Daddy. Oh, look at that. Look at this. Look at that.
Is that what it feels like when they hit the tongue clip?
Yeah, he hit his tongue and got crazy.
Doug, in fact, the frenulum is the most sensitive part of the penis. It even has the same type of pleasure receptors as those found in the clitoris, meaning frenulum-based orgasm is often described as being as intense as a clitoral one. You say clitoral or clitoral?
I don't usually
No
say
guy
a lot.
cares about this stuff.
How do you know I'm freaky? Where'd you get that from?
Oh, horny Stephen A. Great article though. This one hit
Wonderful
harder than
article.
this one hit harder
No,
than the
there's a lot more.
Oh,
there's a lot more. We'll finish it up on Balloon Party.
It sounded as though he was correcting someone. That
What's your-
someone denied it, and he was setting the record straight.
Today on Balloon Party, we're going to educate you on the penis.
For more insight on the penis foreskin, ask KG in O-Town and Mr. Licks. That's why they engage in docking. That's from the Warson Woods Wacko.
Oh.
They're docking?
I don't think so.
Now, what if you're not cut? Do you have any of these things?
Good question.
Oh, yeah.
Wait.
Oh, if you're not cut, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still there.
Yeah,
you just
you-
have to,
look for it.
Truffle hunt.
Oh,
All right. Can you imagine pulling back the hood, having a truffle hunt under the hood, Doug?
Yeah, get a pig to find it.
These are such great links.
They're not great links.
I
Come
really-
on, Jackson.
And great follow-up questions that we have too.
Sometimes you go deep in your bag. You come out with genius stuff like this. The banjo string. I really like that.
I like that a lot.
Isn't it just a vein?
I think it's
It's more skin, is it not?
a piece of skin
yeah.
with a lot of nerve endings, I guess. I think Big Al's calling in.
Is he really? We haven't heard from Big Al in ages.
Give me that hate.
Okay.
Guys, I'm cut. Do I have this thing? Thanks. That's from Mr. Felch.
So it's the year of foreplay?
I think it is. Shallow foreplay, too. Exterior foreplay.
Is that what happens when people are afraid of venereal diseases?
Or just
Can I give you my starting lineup?
No.
lazy like me, don't want to do any work. Just foreplay and done.
Yeah. Well, you're an experienced lover.
Carlos Spicy Wiener wants to know what the latest is with Diora Baird. I don't believe she's booked on this program, Balloon Party, or the Tim McKernan Show podcast as of yet, but I know KG in O-Town is efforting. Is that right?
Well, usually he does. Usually he works like the Dickens behind the scenes.
Well, it's been a week, so give him time.
How long do you think we should give him before we let you come in and close this game out?
This is earn runs this year. 1, 1, 1.
I think he's gonna get her. It
You
does.
think so? Do you really?
No.
If we don't strike now, we might lose out. Someone might beat us to the punch.
Yeah.
By the time you get her on, Tim's going to forget what he wanted to ask her.
Yeah, Randy Carricker is going to beat us to the punch.
I was going to say the opening drive is probably circling.
Thanks for joining us. I forgot why we wanted you on, but
I've already forgotten. Who the hell was she?
What did she do?
Rocky was just waiting for the green light.
What did she do?
I don't
Well,
know.
Caden said she's going to make her the focus of all her energy.
Oh.
Well, maybe
She
Caden
wants
can
her
find
in.
her. Just tell Caden to go look for her. I'm sure she has enough people that can say, hey,
Manuel.
find this girl for me.
Hello, Vivian.
Local gal?
No, Miami and Southern California.
Oh.
Yeah, you think she's local?
Well, I don't know. We had
Yeah,
a couple that were local that were big OnlyFans stars or wanted to be anyway.
Yeah, but she's
Brianna Coppage.
Yeah, she said on Twitter the other day she likes older men.
Oh, that kind of
I
left the door
like
open for you, didn't
kittens
it?
and bunny.
You like to hear that, don't you?
Who said that?
Brianna Coppage. She said
She has a
something-
podcast? Is that what you said?
No, on Twitter.
Oh, on Twitter.
She said something. She goes, just what I like is this is what I like, and it was a backward spelling. And if you started from the end, it said older men. I don't know what that was about, but
That get you excited a little bit, thinking you had a shot?
no. I just want to be a cuck.
God, what
Hey,
a
my.
lifestyle.
Snag that audio.
Mm.
Morning
Because
team. Found Mr. Licks meandering the Home Depot foyer, begging people to purchase his homemade kettle corn and dollar chocolate bars to support the construction of his new chain link fence that his father-in-law won't buy. Thanks. That's from Maury and Little Jack. We're in the market for a 3-pack of white trash bumpkin jackets, preferably a Rainforest Cafe, a pleather bomber jacket, and something denim. That's from Maury and Little Jack.
I only got 2 of those left. One's gone. I can't believe that Planet Hollywood jacket hasn't gone yet. That's a collector's item.
For who?
If you collect vintage leather jackets.
How many people collect vintage leather jackets?
Obviously nobody, because nobody's offered anything.
Lena the Plug and Adam 22 interview is out with Brianna Coppage. Yikes, it's awk. That's from Mr. Siders. You like that term awk?
I don't care.
Well,
Instead of
isn't it-
awkward?
Isn't it supposed to be awkward? It doesn't like the wife and husband.
I thought they just bang. I thought that's what goes on.
It's an interview and then they bang.
Didn't they interview her like a month ago?
Yeah, but they
backlogged.
Might not have released it yet. I guess they did, but
Iggy, you can still prove you are better than KG in O-Town by booking Diora first. The only thing you're proving is that you are the lazier of the two producers. Get the woman on the damn show!
Oh.
That's from Who's Your Daddy?
Yeah.
Well, I have nothing to prove to anybody.
Nice.
So I don't need to prove it.
Who's Your Daddy would like you to prove your medal?
I don't need to prove anything to anybody.
Ryan in Breezy Point, what's up, Ryan?
As long as my bosses like what I'm doing, I don't have to prove anything to you people.
How about that?
Okay.
Well, not you people, just whoever that was.
Just would have been
That was Who's Your Daddy?
Nice to
Who's
get
your
her
daddy?
on.
I don't have to prove anything to you.
But I don't know why we would want her on, but it sure would be nice to have her on.
I'd like to prove it to Jeff Lotman, Doug. He's with Compass Realty, and a bunch of homes on the market. I'm telling you, left and right.
Rates starting to come down a little bit.
Yeah, I guess that's playing a role in it. And then after the new year, JEFFLOTTMANN.com. Yeah, that's Jeff Lotman, and he's with Compass Realty. He's been selling homes in St. Louis for 22 years with over $500 million in sales. He went to Compass Realty because Compass is the #1 luxury broker in the real estate game, and it's not about a price point, it's about an experience. So work with Jeff. If you're buying a home, if you're selling a home, they have a network across the globe. It's Jeff Lotman at jefflotman.com. Doug, tell me about Nostrils.
Well, it's a place where you go for dog treats, Tim. It's a local company. A couple of longtime listeners started the company. I'll hold up one of the bags.
Show it on YouTube. Show it on YouTube.
This
Yeah.
chicken flavor Heideless Chews ribbed bone. Oh, my dog loves these. Dora loves them. So does her cousin Elway. Just loves those. Iggy took one home to his niece's dog or wherever it was. They loved him too. They all love him because the treats are so good. Nostrils is a locally family-owned business, takes pride in offering all natural dog treats crafted with minimal ingredients and bursting with flavors such as peanut butter, chicken, and pumpkin. Their dental chews are designed to promote thorough teeth and gum cleaning, and the rawhide-free chews are gentle on dogs with sensitive stomachs. Visit Nostrils.com and you enter the code. I'll give the code now.
Do it.
TMA. You enter that code at checkout, and you get 15% discount along with free shipping on orders over $30. So don't miss out on these fantastic savings. Go to Nostrils.com, that's GNAWTURALS.com, and apply TMA at the checkout and get your dog some fabulous treats that they'll just love.
All right, Doug, you wanted to hear from him. You got him. It's Big Al on
good.
TMA.
Got to get the phone pot up. There we go.
Well, hello, Al.
Morning, boys.
Where have you been? We haven't heard from you in
Kinda sounds
ages.
good.
In the man cave, just recuperating and getting better and better and fighting the fight.
Yeah, you feeling good these days?
Yes, sir, I am.
Good to
I
hear.
took my 4th trip to Mexico and got one more and should be 100%.
Nice.
Great.
Crystal clear. So thank you, God, and all my fans that yell at me when they see me at the game to call in. Well, quit screaming at me. I'm calling in. But I miss everybody. I appreciate everybody, telling me that they miss me and to call in and they praying for me and to go ahead and get better so I can go play Blind Frogger on 70. I miss that. So
what is
I'll
that
be back
exactly?
to that soon. But I just wanted to say that when you listen to Timmy and the rest of the boys and Iggy, you learn something every day. Now I know why my clit gets sore when I eat spicy food. A little booger under there just to get flamed up. I don't know what's going on, but now I got to figure it out. So I didn't know what it was under there, but I got a clit on my tongue. What do you think about that, dog?
Gosh.
Put that off.
Yeah, Doug, you share a
Confused by
clit
it
with
all.
us.
I'm confused by it all.
I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But anyway, just wanted to call in and give an update. And how you doing, Iggy?
Good, buddy.
Good.
Love that.
I listen, and I just want to call in when I got something to say. So I got something to say now, and got my tongue clit figured out, and got my treatments figured out, and things are good. And I was born in '62, and things always happened good to me in even years, and bad things in odd years, and that happened last year. But 24 is an even year. So, boys, I'm back. I love you. I miss you. And see you soon.
Well, it's great to have you back. We hope to see you at one of our live events somewhere down the road.
I love Big Al's enthusiasm. Love that dude. I actually recently saw him about a month and a half ago. He looks like a different person in compared to when he first had the diagnosis. So much appreciated, Big Al. Always love having his calls. He's always a little spitfire.
I think he went to Mexico to get some treatments that they don't give you here in the,
And it
the
worked.
U.S. and it's worked.
Like a charm. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So bravo
great.
to
Good
him.
for him. And for having the gumption to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And he can take heat from the listener. That's the good part about him being one of those, he's very vocal, so he puts a lot of attention on him, but he knows how to take it.
He's got a nice jersey collection, too. I don't know about
a lot of Raiders.
Leather jacket
The purple
collection.
Bennington one got me. I wasn't a huge fan of the purple, but I know the significance of it, but I just did. Never really loved that. I love the Khalil Mack, the black jersey he bought that. You knew he meant business when the Khalil Mack was on.
And you see him everywhere. Didn't we see him once down at spring training?
We saw him at Adam Sandler. Remember, he just happened to be at Adam Sandler right now.
I've been to Blues news conferences, and there he is.
There he is.
It's insanity. He is everywhere. He is a legend.
I know Joe Parisi, who does a lot of voiceover stuff.
Great guy.
And a lot of announcing. He was doing a high school hockey game, and he took a picture. He goes, it's going to be a big game when you're running into Big Al. He's at a high school game.
Well, he's a big hockey fan.
And he had a Raider jersey on, too.
Yeah. Well, he's been a wonderful listener for a lot of years.
Yes, he has.
It's nice to hear that he's back and doing well.
Yeah, feeling good.
Yeah.
Treatment in Mexico, Doug.
Summer right around the corner. We'll have that SUV parked out there in St. Peter's.
Stem cells, I'm guessing that ass fixes everything. It seems like from the reports. That's from the 314. You can't get that treatment in the United States?
I don't know what the treatment it was, but yeah, he was in bad shape there for a while. And went to Mexico, and I guess they got him going in the right direction.
God bless. That's where our J. Randolph Jr. Award winner, Carrie Grimmer, is getting treatment as well.
Good for her.
Why? I mean,
well, there are certain
treatments.
There are certain treatments.
Experimental, I guess.
No, there are certain treatments in the U.S. It just takes years to get FDA approval for them.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, they're so afraid of lawsuits here that they go years and years of testing, and then finally they say, okay, looks like it's going to work. When some other countries they've been doing it for years.
I mean, the cost is certainly significant, but I don't blame the parties for doing it either.
Yeah,
I mean, if you got the money and absolutely, no question. So Big Al, one of those lucky few that went out and dipped their toe in that pool, and he's looking great.
Well, I don't know if he dipped his toe in any pools.
Well, it's just he just
that's
decided
the treatment.
To jump out. No, I wish it was that easy.
Yeah.
Doug, ESPN ranked the top 150 college football games of the year.
Oh, gosh.
It can't be possible.
150?
Can you imagine the intern that had to put that list together?
Who put 100? And how do you get to 150? That means you watched 150 on this like a
no.
Barrett Rady's.
You probably looked at the scores and saw some come from behind wins and last-second touchdowns. Oh, boy, there's number 43.
Do you want to guess what number one was?
Oh, gee, many.
I thought you liked power rankings.
Can I have a hint of some kind?
It took place in the Southeastern Conference.
Alabama's win over Auburn.
Yes! See, this is a great list.
All right.
That's correct. 27-24 your final. What about second?
Gee, clue.
All kind of Big 12, but kind of SEC.
Oh, is that Big 12's win over the SEC opponent?
No.
No. Washington over Texas?
No.
I give up.
Oklahoma coming back to beat the Longhorns 34-30 in the Red River rivalry.
Okay.
Colorado USC game was pretty good.
Caleb Williams.
First mentioned 9:01.
I didn't mention
we hit
his
learn
name. I mentioned
in the
his
7
team.
o'clock hour.
I mentioned his team. I didn't mention his name.
Number 3, Alabama, Michigan. Overtime. Number 4 happened on the same day. That's amazing. Washington, Texas.
Okay.
Jeez.
This is a lousy list.
Right.
Jackson, was this one of your links?
Number 5, 6, and 7 were all Colorado games.
Okay.
5 was Stanford, Colorado. 6 was Colorado State. 7 was Colorado, TCU.
The guy who put the list together didn't want to go to another web page
He
to start
literally
looking
went
for
to
other
the top
games.
25, got every top 25 schedule, and just put it in an Excel spreadsheet, randomized it. And
right. Here you go.
There you go. There's number 1 at that. Oh, got lucky with that one. That one was a good game.
Took him 15, 20 minutes tops.
Doug, 8 and 9 were both Washington, Oregon games.
Okay.
Number 10, you remember Houston, West Virginia?
No.
Hail Mary. 11, Michigan, Ohio State. Alabama, Georgia, SEC Championship was 12.
Are you going to read all 150 games?
What was 150? I'm curious.
Missouri, Kansas State, for the record, was number 15. Missouri, Florida was number 16.
I might as well just stay on this page. This looks like a close game. Jot that one down, Bobby.
Bobby's the intern.
I thought Johnny Johnson would have had a hand in this.
Well, how about this? North Carolina, Georgia Tech, number 23. Virginia, North Carolina, number 24. There's a pattern.
Mm-hmm. Doug, wouldn't you think those would be closer to the teens?
No, I wouldn't think about it at all.
Well, where's your ranking?
I don't have one because it's not necessary.
How about this? Wyoming, App State is 31. Wyoming, Texas Tech, 32.
Oh, wow.
App State, James Madison, 33. God, it's amazing.
He found the App State website.
College Game Day there, App State James Madison, right? That was the College Game Day.
I don't know. What website's he going to find next?
What an article.
Do you think somebody actually yelled at this kid, too, and said, hey, what kind of list? You got the same team in back-to-back weeks, man. Come on, put some work into it.
150 of them. Maybe the top 5 games.
What's 150?
Top 10, maybe.
Norfolk State versus Prairie View A&M.
What are we supposed to do? Want to go back and watch them again?
Look at this. Yeah, I will. Texas State, Louisiana Monroe was 46, and Louisiana Monroe and App State 47.
Same deal.
See, that's BS. Those are top 30 games all day. When you watch those, you go, that's in the top 30.
You're thinking 26, maybe 28.
That's when you know they didn't watch any of the games.
This is a
Texas
terrible,
State game?
Terrible list.
Look at this. Montana, North Dakota State, 51. Montana, Furman, 52.
He's on some obscure websites, too. He's not just going to the big boys.
And Montana Furman is in the top 55.
What an industry we've... How about this? Cortland over North Central, 53. Cortland over Grove City, 54.
Damn it, get off the small school websites and go to the big ones.
Grove City? If these teams are in the 50, what would be 150? High school games?
How about this? Central Arkansas, Southeast Missouri State, Central Arkansas, Eastern Kentucky, 56-57. Doug, I'm starting to pick up a pattern.
Those are good matchups.
I hate the writer and I hate the editor who assigned him the story. I hate both of them.
I hate the industry.
I shouldn't say I hate the writer. He was told to do it. I hope he didn't come up with it on his own and then sold the story and they said, okay, we'll put it up.
Are you surprised that Johns Hopkins in Muhlenberg was only 60?
Yeah. I would have thought about 46, 47.
Doug, what did you think about the Muhlenberg club this year?
Muhlenberg had a good club this year. They played that one really good game. I think we just mentioned that. They had a team where if they could stay healthy, they could surprise some people. They would put their hands in the dirt, pin their ears back, get after the signal caller on occasion. If they could have scored more, they would have won more. That was basically the story of Muhlenberg.
Is there a Power 5 conference game below Muhlenberg?
Yes, there were a number of them. 90, as a matter of fact.
God.
This writer has nothing to hang his head about, but this article is awful, and he will live a life of poverty. I will say that article is still better than every straight-to-the-web interview combined. That's from glove blogger Tom Traven.
No.
Well, now you're just making an ass of yourself.
Ass. Those are some of the greatest interviews ever done.
I'd be interested in Brian Henshin's list since he's the bowl commissioner and has to look at all of these games. That's from the Pope, who can roll the rock.
Good point. Henshin probably has a nice list. Maybe top 10 coaches. Maybe that would have been a better list.
Would you go with Kalen DeBoer?
Top 10 college quarterbacks.
New Roll Todd?
Well, would the NBA work in St. Louis? Would have been a nice article.
Not too controversial.
Ooh.
Stay away from that one. Jackson, how was your trip to Memphis?
It was great. I had a lovely time. Love Memphis.
See Rob?
From my seats, I did see Rob Fisher.
There you go.
You? Was he walking the sidelines or?
Yeah, he was working like the Dickens.
Was he?
Yeah. Sideline interviews.
Did you go to Beale Street or was it too cold?
No, I went to Beale Street. I mean, FedEx Forum is literally like on Beale Street, so you kind of roll right out into there.
You show yourself off a little bit?
Sure. It was cold. It was legitimately very cold.
Yeah, big crowds?
Yeah. Young, energetic crowds.
Wow.
Even with the down Grizzlies.
Really?
Yeah. People love it in Memphis there, man.
You had yourself quite a time.
Sure. Got to see Kobe Brown again. What's up, Kobe?
How'd he do?
Got about 4 minutes after Paul George cooked the Grizzlies. Tune to 37 points. That was pretty awesome to see.
How long did it take you to drive down there?
About 4 hours. Yeah. Easy trip. Had a great time with my brother.
Did you go to Platinum Plus?
Platinum Plus. I don't know what that is.
Sounds like Walmart.
It sounds like a cell phone plan.
Is it Rendezvous Barbecue? Is that what it is?
Oh,
Deja
yeah.
Vu? Rendezvous?
I don't know.
Deja Vu's a stag bar. Rendezvous a barbecue. Am I right?
Rendezvous is barbecue. We did Central Barbecue. Really good.
All right. What'd
Really
you get, boy?
Ribs, full slab.
Ooh, ribbies.
Yeah.
Slab.
Yeah, got slab, split the slab, dry rubbed. Outstanding. Really, really good. My buddies from Memphis said Memphis is a pork town, so you get ribs, not brisket. But yeah, lovely time. Memphis is cool, man. I like that. Everything we needed to be, wanted to go to, was in like a mile radius. Got to see where Dr. King was shot, which was very powerful. It was like a block or two from our Airbnb.
Oh, really?
The hotel's still there.
Oh, yeah. So the National Civil Rights Museum bought the motel because it was going to get shut down and destroyed, and they obviously wanted to preserve it. So they've kept it exactly like it was in 1968 when he was shot. It was very powerful.
What
like
was
you're
the name
10
of that
feet
hotel?
from it.
What was the name of the hotel?
The Lorraine Motel.
That's right.
Yeah, you're like literally 10 feet from where he got shot. They have the point where the shooter took the shot. It was very, very powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much enjoyed Memphis. Good town.
God bless. And then you're going to Scottsdale in 2 weeks, right?
Yes. Going to Scottsdale February 1st.
Nice.
Boy, this producer money, it's...
I think it's the balloon party money.
Yeah, to travel the world.
Windfalls.
Be a little bit warmer in Scottsdale.
Telling me.
God, it was cold everywhere, man. They had the Iowa caucuses in Des Moines. It was like 30 below zero.
30 below is the wind chill or the temperature?
Wind chill.
Wind chill.
Yeah.
I saw somebody in Ohio make fresh ramen, brought it outside, held it on a fork, and the ramen froze, and the fork was in about a minute.
Yeah.
It's insane.
This stupid cold weather.
Yeah, that's stupid cold. When it freezes a hot dish in a matter of minutes. Literally, the fork is standing, just froze there with it. Crazy.
It's like the low 40s in Los Angeles.
It was 20 in Houston, or in Dallas.
Yeah, I saw
the
that.
low 20s there. That's insane.
Arizona missed all that, didn't it? Most of Florida missed it. South Florida, anyway.
Those specific states just always miss them. All that stuff.
She was the other woman in her close friend's marriage, but she insists she had no idea. An Australian model says she inadvertently broke up a gal pal's union after the husband secretly subscribed to her OnlyFans site and started sending raunchy messages under a pseudonym. Honey Brooks took to Instagram. You like that when people take to social media?
No. Don't you just click on it?
Take two.
Okay.
Honey Brooks took to Instagram to share the tawdry tale on Sunday, saying she was gutted by the man's manipulative behavior. I woke up to all these messages, and this S is just insane, the mortified blonde began. Before explaining the situation, Brooks claimed that a man subscribed to her X-rated page about 6 months ago and quickly purchased all her kinky content. I have no idea who they are, Brooks said of her subscribers. They can sign up under whatever name they want. We don't get to see email addresses or anything like that. The man, who later turned out to be one of her best friend's husbands, subsequently direct messaged the amorous Aussie model asking for a more personalized experience. I do offer a girlfriend experience, but it's quite expensive. As part of the package, Brooks offers priority messaging and access to fun things every night. It's basically being your girlfriend, she declared. I bet some skeptics would say it's escorting.
It's prostitution is what it is, yeah.
The man paid for the pricey package for 3 months, with Brooks exchanging steamy sex with him every day for the entire duration. Suddenly, however, he went silent. He disappears off the face of the earth, the model exclaimed. I didn't know if he had died. On Sunday morning, however, Brooks learned the real reason for the sleazy subscriber silence. You like that SSS
I don't mind it,
alliteration, sleazy subscriber silence? He stopped messaging me because his wife found out, she told her followers. His wife is one of my best friends.
Oh, no.
Jesus.
Brooks appeared shaken by the news, explaining that she knew the man well and regularly went on group outings with him. She insisted she had no clue that he was the person paying for the girlfriend experience and sending her erotic messages for 3 months. Now I'm thinking to myself, if I unknowingly had an affair with one of my best friend's husbands, I feel gutted. I feel gutted that he's done that to her, that he's done that to me. The friends reassured Brooks by insisting that the infidelity was not her fault, but the content creator has agreed to sit down with her gal pal and the pal's newly estranged husband to talk through the situation.
Now, if you're just exchanging photos, does that count as sex?
Jackson?
No. Certainly can make you dubious of the person's intentions.
Right.
Isn't that a breach of trust, though?
It is, yeah. But to hear her talk about it, it sounds like she was with the guy. And had sex, and yet still had outings with him somewhere else and didn't know it was him?
Right.
Yeah, it made no sense.
Yeah, I think intent is the important thing. Like, if you're sending something like that, you clearly have the intent to do something nefarious. And that, in turn, for many people, would probably make them like the same feeling as cheating.
Brooks previously hit headlines. You like that hit headlines?
I don't care for it.
For discussing her own unconventional marriage. Last month, the beauty garnered backlash after revealing she shared her husband with 16 other women in 2023, saying it showed the strength of their bond together. Doug, I can just read what's in the prompter.
Shows you're bored with each other. I think it was probably what it shows. Huh. It's just, that's the one detail.
I would describe that as sporting.
Yeah. The one detail that is a little fuzzy is, did she ever get together with the guy in person, or was it all done online?
Yeah, if it was all sexting, I mean, that's a totally different set of circumstances here. And then I thought he was exchanging pictures, but then she just realized it was...
Oh.
I don't know. Listen, I don't have the answers. I thought it was a wonderful link.
Nice link, Jackson.
Hey, thanks, fellas. Feel good about it.
If she just thinks it's sexting online with a customer, she's kind of in the clear here. But if she met up with him in person, and at the same time she's going out with outings with the group and doesn't recognize the same guy, that makes it kind of weird, doesn't it?
What if they just did shallowing?
I don't know what that is. We talked about that earlier.
Yeah, in the humble hand job.
Still, wouldn't you think you might recognize the person if you'd been out with him on social events?
That's why I'm skeptical of the way this is described. I mean, if it was just sexting, I don't...
Yeah, what kind of an affair are you having? It's not an affair if you're just sexting with the guy. It's not an affair. That's what your whole site is.
Yeah.
The first mic drop of 2024 has been filed. That's from Chairman Steve in Wildwood. What is he not happy with, you think?
Winter warm-up.
I would imagine winter warm-up.
He couldn't get a ticket to see Newt Bar.
Guys, I have finished my Home Depot shopping, but now he's following me to my car asking if I can, quote, front him some cash because his Venmo debit card has a 4-day hold on the allowance his wife's dad pays him. Can one of you call him or something? Give him the same talk you gave Larry when he DM'd you asking why nobody volunteered to drive him home after the Fenton Hot Shots event. He keeps going, hey, look at my loafers. I'm not poor. Please believe me. Thanks. That's from Maury and Little Jack. We feel bad for iPhone-shaped people who eat drive-through fast food for breakfast.
Oh, yes.
iPhone-shaped people.
So you're a rectangle?
Kind of barrel-chested.
And they eat fast food for breakfast in the drive-thru? Is that what goes on?
Well, if you had like an Egg McMuffin, that's not horrible. I mean, it's not great. It's not great, but it's not the worst thing you could eat.
If you're kind of starting off your day like that,
you're laying a nice base.
Yeah, I just feel like the rest of the day is kind of a wash.
Well, there's a lot of people who would eat similar stuff at home before they left.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't a good breakfast for you maybe be a couple of eggs and an English muffin? That's all it is. You just put it on top of each other.
Mm-hmm. A lot of salt.
What makes you say that?
Sodium. And they count that.
Well, you don't have to put salt on it.
Yeah, but there's salt in it, baby.
In eggs?
Yeah, in McDonald's eggs. I bet they're very high.
How does salt get in there if you just...
Well, they add
Man just lays an egg. How's there salt in there?
Well, I don't think it's
Done
real
by human
farm to
hands.
table over at McDonald's. I don't want to, I don't think there might be a process or two before it reaches your mouth.
Well, now I want an Egg McMuffin.
Feel free. It's your God-given right.
We have one right next door, don't we? I got in a bad habit of going there too often after the shows. I was starving at 10 o'clock. It was pretty easy to go right through that drive-thru, get an Egg McMuffin at 10:15.
I haven't been at McDonald's in a while.
No, it's kind of emergency food now at this point. If you're out on the road, the highway for a while, you're starving, you don't know what's coming up next.
Ain't even worth it. Ain't even worth it.
Well, if you're really hungry.
Yeah.
It's an emergency stop.
Madison brought me some on Thursday, I think. It was great.
Well, then it was worth it.
Yeah, I mean, it was good. I wouldn't say like it's phenomenal, but yeah, I think an emergency stop is probably appropriate to say.
Hey guys, Triple Sticks looks like he has some new tufts of wisps himself, and they
Does
look
he?
great. That's from Big Tuft.
Okay. Maybe he went to St. Louis Hair Restoration.
Let me see this. Nothing wrong with men wanting to look good too, Doug. If the ladies are getting filler season, why can't we? I want to have fillers.
Right. We've had work done.
Yeah. Let's see what we got. I guess these are just old file pictures that I'm seeing here.
I mean, people get their teeth done.
Yeah.
They get moles cut off their face. That's all having work done. I know what the difference is, where one you say, sure, that's fine, nothing, and the next is, boy, you sure are vain to have that done.
You're so vain. Warren Beatty?
I think that was the original
yeah.
theory, that it was about him.
Look at that.
I think the first theory was Mick Jagger. Right?
Good for him.
Who is that?
That's Bill DeWitt III. You don't even recognize him.
No, I did not.
How about that?
Oh, yeah. I did not recognize him.
Good thing, Iggy. What's doing? Look at that.
He probably heard our St. Louis hair restoration.
I think so. Yeah, I'm sure he's a loyal listener.
Is he on the left?
That's his father.
Looks like a bald head to me.
That was his dad.
He's right over here. Right there.
Okay. I can't tell.
You can't tell.
He's got a beard now.
Yeah, he'll look great, I'm sure. He's the nicest guy that you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
So is his dad.
Why don't you scream at them for not spending
That's why it's hard for me to scream at him, because I've met him and they couldn't be any nicer, and so it's hard for me to.
His dad still has an office in Detroit.
Detroit?
Or not Detroit,
I think Cincinnati.
I think his office is still in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And his cell phone is still Cincinnati.
I don't know what this means, but I read it. Hunchback is vacationing in Destin. I thought that was for the poor's loser. It's from Breeze.
Oh, it's not for the poor's.
What the hell just happened?
I'll go to
Where'd that come
Destin right now. Take me to Destin right now. I don't care how poor it is.
Yeah,
It's not
like
poor.
Six Flags for your weekend vacation for the poors.
Yeah.
Not Destin. Right? Am I off?
No, you're correct. I bet a hotel this time of year in Destin is probably $150, $200 a night.
Poors.
I don't know that for sure, but I would guess it's probably
more than
ballpark.
that.
It could be. It's kind of a risky time to go because it's not far enough south that you can guarantee beach type weather there.
That's the thing.
Let's go, though. Just think right now, it's so cold outside. After the show, if you took tomorrow off, you could just hop in your car. Like 19 hours from now, you could be in 80-degree weather.
I'd rather go camping tonight in Missouri than go to Destin. That's from the worst.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
Or
There's
you
some
could get on-
absolutely beautiful places in that area.
You get on a plane, and 3 hours from now, you'd be in 80-degree weather.
You're just discovering this?
No, I just think
you can get on an airplane and go south.
I think it's amazing. It's just, it's just so cold here. People want to get on a plane. 3 hours from now, you'd be in 80-degree weather.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jackson. I didn't realize you were texting me. James Carlton is here. I didn't know he was here, but I apologize.
Is he really?
on me. Yeah.
All good.
We'll take a break. James will join us. Then we'll have the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email of the day, the morning after, at InsideSTL.com. That is how you can get involved. Mr. Licks has just responded. Hate to break it to you, Doug, but $150 to $200 a night type of hotel is for the poors.
I don't know that it is.
You can't afford that
No.
either.
I'll be in Palm Beach in a week, Doug. Horse and Wacko. I mean, we just get.
He's going to the Breakers. He'll be staying at the Breakers.
It's at $1,500 a night, I believe.
Yeah.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back with our third hour here of TMA, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.
Rosalitas know that a fun happy hour and scenic patio go together like fresh guac and chips. So take advantage of their covered patio this fall and winter at their De Pere location and enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6. Their sparkling margarita is made with Chambord raspberry liqueur and topped with a bottle of rosé prosecco. They also have a variety of delicious margarita flavors, including mango, pomegranate, and blood orange, all made with top-shelf tequila and Cointreau. With phenomenal service, great margaritas, and a breathtaking atmosphere, there's always a reason to come to Rosalitas.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and I am here with a great TMA sponsor, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And you may hear a bunch of out-of-state law firms advertising here and there all over on billboards and so on and so forth. But the thing is, oftentimes their goal is to just settle and move on, and that's not what you guys do.
Yeah, this is CD Longo, and you hear us talking a lot about maximizing the value of cases, but what does that actually mean? Well, as Tim said, there's lots of personal injury lawyers in St. Louis, and everyone handles cases differently. We focus on getting the highest dollar amount for your injuries, not just getting a resolution quickly. We're constantly tracking all the settlements and verdicts in the area. This helps us advise our clients on whether a settlement offer is too low. And if the amount of compensation being offered is too low, we are happy to file lawsuits and proceed to trial to ensure our clients receive an amount that is fair. Visit our website or Google us at Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You've heard us talking about Mark Hanna from Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Mark and his team provide a personalized, holistic approach discussing cash flow, liquidity, debt, investments, insurance, taxes, and they pull it all together into a strategy that fits for each individual client. Start the new year off with a judgment-free conversation with Mark Hanna. Visit evergreenstl.com to learn more. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors, LLC, member FINRA, SIPC, a broker-dealer. Equitable Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Evergreen Wealth Strategies is not a registered investment advisor and is not owned or operated by Equitable Advisors or Equitable Network.
The choice of a lawyer is important and shouldn't be based on an ad.
After a serious car accident, people have two questions. Why me and what now? Well, no one knows why you, but I'm Terry Crouppen and my law firm Brown & Crouppen sure can help with the what now. Car repairs, medical bills, lost wages, pain and suffering. We're Brown & Crouppen, and we've got all those answers. All you have to do is call 222-2222.
Urban Dictionary defines thirsty as purposely, knowingly, and recklessly attempting to gain fame to boost self-esteem. So, are you thirsty? Well, TMA has you covered. Become a part of the TMA Listener of the Month Club. You nominate yourself for a monthly award. And if you win, you get recognition and stuff to help you satisfy that insatiable thirst. We're talking January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, etc. Go to TMASTL.com or the TMA app. Give us your name, a photo, and other pertinent information. Tell us why you deserve to be TMA Listener of the Month. And if you don't want to use your real name or photo, we don't really care. The TMA Listener of the Month. Get recognized just for being you, or fake you, or whatever. Quenched by Milagro Tequila. Welcome to the brighter side of tequila with Milagro in the morning after on KPNT HD2.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
Bet like the pros with the world's largest sports book right at your fingertips. Circus Sports is now available in Illinois. Hi, I'm Derek Stevens. I've been a lifelong sports bettor and I'm the owner of Circus Sports. We're excited that the Circus Sports app is now ready for action. Experience big app bets with high betting limits, tight money line splits, and more. Now you can download, fund, and bet like a pro from anywhere in Illinois. Download your new bookie today at circusports.com. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Chow Chow on the Hill is your one-stop shop for all your pet supplies. As soon as you walk through their doors, you and your pet are considered family and treated with superior service and personalized attention. Jessica is the owner and is a certified pet nutritionist and is passionate about educating her clients on the product that will keep your pets happy and healthy. My favorite part about Chow Chow is its connection with All Paws Safe Haven, an organization that helps shelter animals find forever homes. To learn more about Chow Chow, visit CIAOCHOWSTL.com or stop by and tell them Plowsy sent you.
This is wide receiver Luther Burden III. Come support NIL and get a quote from my friend James Carlton.
Thanks, Luther. That's right. For every quote you mention, Luther Burden III will make a donation to NIL on your behalf. Getting a quote is easy. Just go online at carltoninsurance.net. Call or text 314-961-4800. If you have drivers under the age of 25, if you're seeing rising rates, give us a call or text us 314-961-4800 or go online at carltoninsurance.net. Let's keep the momentum going.
Yeah, that Plowboy's an interesting dude, but he loves animals, and he wants to help adoptable dogs find homes. With TMA listeners, catch Plowsy live on the TMA socials each week, highlighting a dog up for adoption from Open Door Animal Sanctuary in House Springs and St. Charles County Pet Adoption Center. Plowsy's Pup of the Week, brought to you by Chow Chow on the Hill. Everything you need to keep your pet's tail wagging. Find out more at TMASTL.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
105.7 HD2. It's the Brown and Crouppen Morning After.
Doug, we're not waiting anymore.
No, we shouldn't.
Just one more year.
Gotta fight, yeah.
We're impatient because what we are at our core is mover and shakers.
Thank you.
And we don't have time to just sit around and wait for something to happen. We go and get it. Now, most of the time, we do sit around and wait. But boy, sometimes not so much. And that's who we are. If there was one sentence that described us, it would be sometimes, not so much. See, this is just horrible music. This
Dropping in ranking.
You need the video, too. It really brings it
I'm
all
watching
together.
the video.
Look, everybody, James Carlton's in the studios,
good
Doug.
morning.
Sitting over there. Hello, James.
He's fresh off the trip to Las Vegas. How was it?
It was great. It was great.
Bill.
Here's the thing I would recommend if anybody wants a sports wager. I watch a lot of football, but I'm throwing darts. I don't have an edge at all. But some of these guys do it for a living. You can pay $80 for a weekend's worth of games, split it between your friends, and we went 5-0 out.
Oh, now you're going back to Vegas next week.
There's a shipment.
And honestly, I've never seen anything like it. Not even a sweat until the Rams and Lions game.
Yeah.
Every other, like the over on the Browns and Texans, covered by halftime practically.
Yeah,
the Packers +7 plus the over was, a sure thing by halftime practically. It was unbelievable. I've never seen anything like it. The Chiefs just crushed the Dolphins.
Yeah.
There are a lot of Chiefs fans out there too. We ended up watching that game. I don't know if it was Circa, but it was Circa Sports Bar. Because I didn't see like the big stadium thing that they market, where you can pay like $200 and like sit in a theater. But it was just a sports bar.
So you were
out
at
there.
Circa?
We went to Fremont for that game. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
How much money you win, playa?
Yeah, it was enough to where my wife's not upset about the trip. Let's put it that way.
Wow.
But you know what she is upset about, Doug? Is all the Taylor Swift slander this morning.
Oh, man.
What's not
Don't upset the
slander?
sponsors,
It's just wonder, trying to understand the whole phenomenon.
Well, let me ask you: are you moved by any musical artist? Does anybody just kind of get you to the core?
Well, sometimes you hear a song. That you think
Glowworm.
Glowworm would be one of them.
That's a bang.
Because
The
like people,
discography of
I'm not
them.
saying she's not talented. I'm just saying I don't necessarily get why she was the one chosen to be this mega all-time superstar.
Well, I think because she just speaks to certain people, and she writes her own songs. She plays guitar. She plays piano. I respect all that. I'm a huge Springsteen fan. Most people don't understand why. He's not particularly a great singer, but I just love his songwriting, and it moves me, and I believe him. That's the key. Do you believe what they're saying? Now, what they're doing for the Chiefs game, and my family's guilty of this. My older sister and her daughter, who's 16, went to that game because they can get cheap tickets just so they can say they were near Taylor Swift.
Cut it out.
They probably couldn't name 4 players that were playing in that game. Obviously,
Just to say
Mahomes
they're
and Kelsey.
near her?
Yes. I'm not being, and I don't think they're
It's
alone
kind
in
of
that.
weird, doesn't it?
I think that is a little odd, but that's what people are doing. People probably did that with Michael Jackson back in the day and Whitney Houston and what have you. But I like and respect her game. She's gone from genre to genre. She's usually not in trouble for bad things. Puts on a good image and writes her own songs. And I tip my cap. But you're going to come around. You'll come around to Taylor Swift.
I'm not saying I don't like her. And I see that she's got lots of talent. I just don't see what makes her unique from other artists.
I think it's the songwriting and all that.
A lot of them play their own instruments. A lot of them they have to be in the musical industry. They have to know something about music.
For pop stars, do you think a lot of them write their own songs or play their own instruments?
A lot of them play the guitar.
Yeah.
A lot of them play the piano.
Maybe so. Maybe I just don't know enough about pop culture these days.
It's like a Billy Joel or
Okay.
I'm not
that genre is different. He hasn't written his own song in like 20, 30 years. He said I heard this on Howard Stern. He looks at the keys and they're like shark teeth trying to bite his fingers. He hates writing music. He just refuses to do it anymore because there's so much pressure. But no, Elton John, Billy Joel, Springsteen, all those guys wrote their own stuff for the most part, played their own instruments, and it's different now. But she's kind of that throwback, and I think that's why a lot of people like her.
There's something there, for sure.
That's my soapbox there.
Hey, guys, it's 32 degrees and snowing in Destin currently. Is that true?
I haven't checked. I don't know.
But Jack Jones was the handicapper. Free plug. He was the handicapper we bought for $80.
Jack Jones handicap.
They'll sell their
bought
picks.
His tips?
Yeah.
His tout sheet.
That's right. And boy, am I glad I did. Because if I was just throwing darts, I would have taken the Cowboys, of course.
I would have too.
I probably would have taken I don't know. I just probably would have not been successful. Let's put it that way. But it was a great time.
Boy, this Jack Jones, he knows what he's doing.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
No, there was a singer back in the 60s and 70s named Jack Jones. You suppose it's the same guy?
Tip of the cap if he's still making sports bets 60 years later.
Him and Musburger just hanging out.
Wayne Newton's still there. Did you see Wayne Newton while you were out
Is
there?
he really still out there?
I think so.
He's got to be 90.
Barry Manilow's still putting on shows.
Good for him. No, I did not catch Barry Manilow or Wayne Newton. Unfortunately, that was
All right,
a
let's
miss.
see what I got here for you, James. Jack Jones, 7-3 Saturday. Featured 2-0 NFL sweep with 25-star Brown. You like that, Doug? 25 stars on that game. Browns, Texans over, and 15 stars on the Chiefs minus 3.5. He's 187 and 132 in the NFL, 110, 65 in the NBA, and 72 and 54 on college basketball. He has 20-star play on the Packers and Cowboy, 20-star play on the Rams and Lions, 20-star NFC total of the week. What was that? Was that the Packers over?
I guess so, yeah.
Headline Sunday's 5-pack. 187 and 132. What kind of, is that like 68%? Is that right?
It seems pretty good.
Oh, that's insane.
I will say
68%.
he's got some cheesy names. AFC wildcard total of the year. AFC Annihilator, he called the Chiefs. And,
you like that? The AFC
NFC No-Brainer for the Packers plus 7. He's got these cute names for him.
59%. 59% is still pretty good.
Well, he won 100% this week, and that's all that matters to me.
How could that have been a no-brainer, though? As well as the Cowboys were playing undefeated at home for like
NFC
16
No-Brainer.
in a row?
It's fun with alliteration.
Well, I know, but how could you pick that game as one that, oh, sure, the Packers are going to beat the Cowboys?
I guess it's the Cowboys' postseason history and Dak Prescott and so forth, and that narrative played true. I mean, the Cowboys had averaged, I think, 35 points a game at home. I mean, they were really, really good at home this year, and I mean, on the surface, I would have thought they would have mopped the floor with the Packers.
I would too. Yeah.
So that's why I don't pick my own games.
Yeah,
Doug, the key to being a tout is being so overly confident in your pick beforehand, and if you get it wrong, you never said anything about it.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah.
Well, you talk, then you're like, well, logic tells you that you're not going to win every bet.
Yeah, or somebody got hurt, or they lost the coin toss, and they were never the same after that.
Somebody sent in a screenshot of Destin. It's 37 degrees and windy right now.
Sounds great for
Wind
this
chill
weather.
advisory.
Yeah. Well,
the whole South is getting hit.
Doug's a square. I'll take his bets. That's from Chairman Stephen Wildwood.
Yeah, that's why I don't bet. It's the things that look very obvious to me don't seem to work out that way very often.
And that's sometimes, that's kind of what you look for sometimes, is if they're like, I think Tim watches where that money's going or where the public's heavy on.
The only one that has stood out so far has been the Packers and the money, and it was the perfect storm.
Is that easy to look up that information,
Yeah.
or do you have a source? Okay.
No, I don't have a source. You can subscribe to get that information.
Okay.
You're going to have to pay Jack Jones again.
Jack Jones.
right.
Jack Jones is the man.
Getting a free plug today.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I like the Lions to win it all. That's from Jack Jones. So he listens to the show.
Yeah.
I'd love to see the Lions win.
It kind of feels like a magical type of year for the Lions. Kind of like the Rams had in '99 when they won it all, where everything just kind of came together for them perfectly.
For sure. Oh, I mean, that was great to see a home playoff game. Yeah, I mean, it's easy to root for the Lions, absolutely.
And they
It's
got a
easy to
guy
root for
from
the Texans.
Highland, Illinois, right?
Sam
The tight
Laporta.
end. Yeah.
And their punters from Ladue High School.
Right,
Jeff Fox.
Yeah, I think
My guy.
he's making 7 figures punting that football.
Did he beat you out for that punter job at Ladue High?
I never once had any inkling of playing football ever.
Why?
Not built for
He's
it.
a hoopster.
Not built for
You're
it.
tall enough to be a punter.
I can't kick. I'm not good at it. Also, Jameson Williams, Cardinal Ritter.
That's right.
They're St. Louis's team.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine with me.
What Super Bowl matchup would you like to see? Plowhawk wants Packers. I think the rest of us want Lions.
I'd like to see Packers-Lions NFC title game. I think that would be fun.
That means you're going to Detroit.
Yeah, I still think that'd be fun.
Give me the Bills on the AFC.
It's going to be Ravens and Lions.
You really think so?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I think it is.
Ravens defense has been very good.
I think Lamar is actually healthy in a playoff run, which hasn't happened in
That's
years
true.
past. And I know they don't have a great running game, but, I mean, Odell Beckham Jr. kind of catching on late. You got Zay Flowers. I love their D. I think they kind of work together. I think this is their year.
But two fan bases you can really get behind, I think, are Buffalo and Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
If those two squared off,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing the Bills in there, too. I've
Where
been
is
pulling
the
for the
Super
Bills
Bowl?
over the last few years.
Does anybody know? I don't have that information.
Vegas.
Oh gosh, yeah.
How about that?
You shouldn't have left.
Let's go.
Yeah, go
Bills
back.
and Lions in Vegas. That town would just be lit up. That would be incredible.
I wouldn't mind seeing the Chiefs get in again, just because of all the bickering that goes on in this town.
I do not.
I haven't seen enough of them, huh?
They need to be humbled.
What's the bickering going on in this town? What do you mean?
Oh, people who root for the Chiefs and people who get mad that other people root for the Chiefs and people that hate the Chiefs and love the Chiefs. And
I guess I don't get mad about. I don't get it, but I don't get mad about it. It doesn't really upset me. Like, the Rams I actively root against. Kind of the Cowboys, too. That was a good day to see both those teams just kind of fall on their face.
Yeah. To see Kroenke lose again was pretty nice.
Yes,
although
absolutely.
he's won a lot lately, too, in all fairness.
Seeing Jerry Jones lose.
Got himself a Stanley Cup, NBA championship, and Super Bowl in a new building in L.A.
Oh, more reason to
we lost.
Yeah.
Dimoff was tweeting out.
What do you mean? We slayed a dragon.
Celebrating.
I did slay the dragon.
But yeah, Bill, okay, we're going, that's the consensus. Bills and Lions is the TMA pick of the year.
Nope, I'm going Ravens, but I'll be fine with the Bills Lions.
My expectation is the number 1 seeds.
Niners, Ravens.
Yeah, which is very boring, but that is actually my expectation. But I have to say that I really haven't followed the NFL closely this year because I didn't play daily fantasy this year. So I am coming from a square perspective in that I am not locked in.
Well, how do you host Balloon Party?
A lot of NHL.
That's because Jackson wants it
Jackson
that way.
wants it that way. That's right.
You can't get enough.
Yeah, this weekend in Memphis, I was like, enough of this basketball nonsense. We want hockey.
Yeah, were you outside the
Doug.
Were you outside the stadium pushing for Memphis to get an NHL team?
No, I would trade to get Memphis's situation.
You'd trade the Blues for the Grizzlies?
Oh my God, I would too.
You
Wait
would?
22 minutes
Oh
to
my
answer that
God.
question.
God. Yes.
You would trade our St. Louis Blues for the Grizzlies?
Doug, that might be the dumbest question
I
you've
wouldn't
ever
even
asked in your life.
I'm appalled at the answer I'm getting.
See, I wouldn't do that, but if you dangled an NFL for an MLB team, if I had to swap that out,
You trade the Cardinals now?
Oh my God.
What's going on here?
Doug, people are destroying their careers right here on our show.
You could throw in the XFL, a kind of a
Just not locked in the
game. Yeah, little snack. Take this league.
You trade the
Sport to be
Cardinals
named
for, like,
later.
the Chargers?
Yeah.
I don't even know you anymore.
Doug, baseball, I loved it growing up. I mean, all those playoff runs, even the 96 game, who hit that triple? Dimitri Young?
Dimitri Young. Yeah.
And then Todd Stoudemire, later on, gave up 1,000 runs. I mean, I was locked in.
Donovan Osborne.
Now, if this trade was determined that Mozeliak and DeWitt would be there for the next 20 years, I think I'm all in. I'm with James. I think you need to trade them out. If you had hopes of-
I'm just listening to offers. I'm not saying this is what I'm suggesting I'd want to happen, but I just love football so much, and now it's all in on Mizzou because I don't have an NFL team I have a rooting interest in at all.
Right.
So that's why I'm just a nerd about Mizzou right now.
Big Tough would 100% trade, 1,000% trade the Blues for the Grizzlies. Big Tough, Doug.
I wouldn't.
You triple your revenue stream for the city in a year, right? Maybe
for
more
the
than
team,
that.
I don't know,
right.
but for the city.
People traveling in, booking up those hotels.
Yeah, tourist attraction.
I mean,
Kroenke
ideally,
made
you
it-
could get both.
Kroenke made a ton of money on the Rams here. It's not like he shared it with the city.
Tim, that might be in your Mount
Talking about
Rushmore
one
of
of the most
QSTAs.
people
What's that?
Who was the county executive you had on back 3 or 4 years ago? That was counterpart.
Vince Shamel?
No, that was the mayor.
Oh, Gene McNary.
Gene McNary. That was an
Gene
incredible,
Gene
enlightening
McNary, and then I
interview.
had Shamel in to give his side of it. And then, Jackson, what we do? We put together the sound bites and just did a kind of like a 30 for 30 on 101.
Yeah, that was great. I remember that.
I was proud of that show because that way it's kind of like a resource for people. And I guess the reason I wanted to do that is it's real easy to bitch about Stan Kroenke, but in order to really understand the story, St. Louis has blood on its hands.
Yeah.
I mean, you can point fingers all day, but is Stan Kroenke responsible for the state of St. Louis? I mean, I guess if you just want to point fingers, it's easy to say that, but that's not the truth. So with McNary and Shamel telling that story, St. Louis had the Cardinals in their control. And the way McNary told the story is St. Louis had, what was the name of that group of older guys?
Civic Progress.
That's it, Civic Progress. And told Shamel, if you let them move out to Earth City, you'll never run for office again. Now, Shamel says you'll never win another office again. I mean, it sounds like a Godfather, Peaky Blinders kind of setting. Now, Shamel says that is not true and that Bidwell did not want to be here. And I don't know. I don't know. But if you ask my sat with both, and I tend to think McNary is more accurate.
Well,
on what took place.
if Bidwell would have gotten a stadium where he's not a second-class citizen in that stadium, I think they stay, right?
Yes. That's McNary. And then also that an NBA team reached out, and he believes it was the Spurs,
right,
to be in that building as well, because it was going to be a dome. in I guess near where Rams Park wound up being.
When they moved after the 87 season,
Yeah.
Phoenix wasn't the huge bursting city that it is now.
That's right.
6 years later, you could understand how someone would do it. But back then, it was still kind of, really? You're going to do this?
Yeah.
We still had TWA and maybe Southwestern Bell, AT&T, one of those.
Yeah.
I mean, so St. Louis in the 80s was still bustling. I mean, top 15, 20 market.
Top 20 for sure.
Yeah, I
Might
mean,
have been top 15.
Yeah, that's. I think everybody, not everybody, the majority of people would agree that feels less insulting than when the Rams left, and mainly because of that letter on the way out, and just that nobody was being sincere. It didn't feel like. I mean, we certainly know Dimoff wasn't being sincere, but Kroenke wasn't saying anything. Did he know in 2012 when he was interviewing Jeff Fisher? Wasn't there a rumor that he asked about how was your experience relocating the Oilers to the Titans?
That is correct.
I mean, so and is that the interview when he was that the last time he spoke publicly? And
That
then
is
you guys, you said that I think the
Yep.
Rams are moving.
That was. I remember opening up the show in January of 2012, and I said, "Doug, what's your biggest takeaway from the Jeff Fisher press conference? That the Rams are moving." That was Doug's answer, and I'm like, "Yeah," because I'm sure we were talking about it before the show. I'm like, and we caught hell for 4 years because that was 4 years of that being the focal point of the show, because you're saying something that people don't want to hear. But I mean, at the epicenter of doing a show, in my opinion, anyway, is to be honest with your audience, whether they like it or not. Which is why I'm, just amused, I suppose, by what goes on now with guys playing characters on television or the radio. But yeah, we were on that for 4 years, and there were ebbs and flows. It wasn't like it was. I never thought it was a done deal until it actually was a done deal. But then you do the autopsy on the process, and you look back and you go, "Holy crap!" I mean, this thing was set up by the NFL to make sure that it went down.
They certainly wanted to move, even if it wasn't a done deal.
The Grubman interviews were amazing.
Yeah, that was
those
that guy.
were some of the most
because that was so
entertaining-
transparently scummy.
That dude was the worst.
Did you see him at each one of those town halls? Was he at
I
each
wasn't
one?
at the St. Louis one, but I was the one in San Diego and Oakland.
And he was there at all those
Yeah,
as
and
well.
then there was a spokesperson for the NFL. I mean, it really is. It is kind of, I made the reference to Godfather, Peaky Blinders, but it really is. That Demoff texted me when I was in Oakland. I think I was in San Diego, but I was heading back up to Oakland, if I'm not mistaken, out of the Bay Area. And he texted me while I was in San Diego. I remember saying to my wife in the hotel, I go, "I just got a text from Kevin Demoff recommending a pizza place in Oakland." And the reason for that was, it wasn't like, "Hey, check it out." It was to let me know that he knew what I was doing. And then later that week, he I believe, I don't know, he had Mayor Butts, the mayor of Inglewood, who stood the mayor of Inglewood, cancel the thing where he was going to do an interview with me on a tour of that
I remember.
site. So,
What station were you guys at? Was that 920?
We were 920.
920, yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so I paid for that out of my own pocket, but I'm like, we got a responsibility. This is the biggest, there won't be, I can't imagine anyway, there will be a bigger story than losing an NFL team, Like, and in this case, again. And I'm like, if this stuff's going on, and I kind of got a read on some of the things that are going on, we got an obligation to talk about it. Popular or unpopular, it doesn't matter. It's a huge story. So I think it's disingenuous when the conversation comes up and it's like Stan Kroenke, and that's what I present the McNary interview, the Shamel interview, and then also what went on in the early 1990s with James Bush Orthwein, who had the Patriots and then agreed to sell his interest, but then that was in exchange for St. Louis getting an expansion team.
Right.
But then St. Louis botched its own expansion effort. So that's why we were sitting here with an empty building that was outdated the moment it opened, and had to bend over and take whatever terms that John Shaw drew up, i.e. the top tier, top 25%, which then allowed them to leave. But if you have an empty building, you have no leverage in a negotiation. What do you say no to it and then continue to have an empty building in downtown St. Louis?
Yeah,
so is that a Stan Kroenke's fault as well?
No, and they already flopped on the expansion deal where they completely botched that, right? And it went to, was it Charlotte or Jackson?
Well, initially they were going to announce both teams on one day, and St. Louis didn't have its house in order,
That's
so
right.
they delayed it and just allowed Charlotte. And then they delayed it, I believe, for like a month, right?
To get Kroenke. Jerry Clinton was trying to do it, and
right.
they realized he didn't
But
have
he
the
was
money.
at war with a guy named Fran Murray. Remember that?
He wanted him as a partner. It turned out Fran Murray was kind of a huckster who didn't have any money. Right. He just wanted to be a part of it.
So then they needed to get somebody. That's where Kroenke enters the scene.
Got it.
And then because the house wasn't in order, they gave the team to Jacksonville, which I'm sure the NFL, with the benefit of hindsight, wouldn't mind having that one back.
Sure.
But they distrusted St. Louis. I think it was St. Louis, Memphis, Baltimore, Charlotte, and Jacksonville that were the 5 cities. So they wanted St. Louis to have a team. Wait,
was that 93?
Probably 93.
Something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Was Grubman ever deposed? Did he ever get subpoenaed and actually have to get deposed?
That dude's living in a Malibu mansion or a villa somewhere. That dude got paid and he gone.
Yeah, I know he's not with the NFL anymore, but I was wondering if I know that.
Oh, he was, one of the things throughout that process was, can't remember who told me, but like I said, we were working on this throughout it. Keep an eye on Grubman's relationship with the Rams and whether or not he winds up working with the Rams when it's all said and done. I mean, it's just so,
But it's the fans' fault.
Remember when he gave us the list of the 3 reasons why a team could possibly move?
God.
One of them was like if the stadium's not good, but the reason number 3 was if the owner wants to move.
So both of them in front mean nothing because the third one goes, okay, we can just move.
Right.
That dude was a pro. Like what he was hired to do, he did a great job of.
Yeah.
He was the villain.
Yeah,
he was
it just
hated.
shows how people can be hoodwinked. It was so, obvious that it was so disingenuous.
He was like a defense lawyer who would say just about anything.
Oh yeah,
anything
that's
to get
nice,
a crooked client.
That's
off the
nice.
hook.
That's a really nice play. That's a great analogy.
Puts on a PJs at night and goes right to bed without any worry.
Right, it's his job.
Yeah,
and it worked.
Perfectly, man. They did it perfectly.
The thing is, it worked, but it was going to work no matter what because they weren't playing by any rules. There wasn't any way not for it to work.
And that's what you thought Kroenke's angle was on January 12th in Houston, was there is no way I can go back to St. Louis now.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know on that. I still don't think he wrote that letter. I think Kevin Demoff wrote that letter.
Sure.
A smile on his face.
But just if they want to, you're like, we can't go back to St. Louis after writing that letter. I mean, as dumb as that is, I think they had an idea that Stan's the only one who could privately finance it.
Yep.
So
I get.
And then if you have Kroenke's money and Jerry Jones's influence, and it's the Cowboys and the Rams and the market of Los Angeles, fine. We'll let Dean tag along because the other party involved is this goofball, Mark Davis. And I know people look at him like he's a total goof. I mean, he does the bowl cut thing in part as a joke because he's so damn wealthy, he doesn't care. But still, they didn't want the Raiders back there, so it was the perfect storm. The unfortunate element, I mean, there's so many unfortunate elements, but the thing that I think is most unfortunate for our region is that because the Rams left, the public thinks it was St. Louis's fault. And specific to the Rams leaving, it could have been damn near any market outside of like a New York, L.A., Chicago, Philadelphia, Dallas, Miami. But if it would have been Kansas City, if it would have been, I don't know what else would be kind of a mid-sized market. I mean, Green Bay, obviously. Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Baltimore would have been the same thing. Whoever had the clause that allowed them out and whoever had an owner who could privately finance it, and keep in mind, Spanos and Davis couldn't privately finance it, they were going to get them there. It wasn't anti-St. Louis. It was just St. Louis happened to be the perfect mark.
You know that. I would say 90% of NFL fans, and that might be generous, have no idea.
Sure, and I also don't fault them for not knowing it because I'm sure fans in Cleveland or Baltimore going back to the Colts or Seattle with the Sonics, I know there's bitterness there over that, they would have their stories on it. But I think it's unfortunate here because then it makes it look like St. Louis is a bad group of football fans, and in just reality, we just happen to have the owner. We have bad government. That's what we were the victims of. We had bad leadership that put ourselves in a spot where we were bent over and accepted terms that were absurd.
I know the DeWitts take some heat sometimes on the free agent market, but we have great ownership on the two teams here.
Oh, we do.
I mean,
Absolutely do.
Absolutely.
The complete opposite.
Mm-hmm. I think they probably played out the Grubman angle just to wring every last dollar out of St. Louis before they left. If they hadn't acted like, well, we may not move, they'd have had completely empty stadiums for the last year and a half, however long that lasted. So if they acted like, no, if you show up, maybe you can convince us not to move.
Wouldn't it be easier to move?
So they'd get another 40,000 or so fans and take the
you might be
millions
right.
that come with that.
But wouldn't it be easier to move with an empty building? I mean, if you can show that to the NFL, look, we have no support here. We got to get out.
Well, I think they were going to go one way.
They were.
That's
I do think that.
That's the thing.
I do think that.
We got to wrap it up.
All
James,
right,
always
guys.
great to see you.
Been a pleasure.
Congratulations on a wonderful weekend.
See ya.
In Las Vegas.
Give my
It's
best to
insurance
Jack
agent.
Jones.
Yeah, tout extraordinaire. Glenn Betts Jewelers in business in St. Louis since 1941, operated by the third and fourth generation of the Betts family. The Glenn Betts difference is you are served personally. You're not sold. Glenn Betts Jewelers develops relationships through generations of your family as well. They get to know your likes, your lifestyle, and who and what you love, the 3 L's. GlennBettsJewelers.com, located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester and De Pere. In the jewelry business, there is good, better, and then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers have been passed down from generation to generation. It's Glenn Betts Jewelers. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our Design Air Heating and Cooling Email of the Day. We have quite a leaderboard here, so this is going to be intriguing, Doug, to see what we got. Can you cook an egg with the hot steam radiating from my pulsating potty hole?
Oh.
This is the first one.
No is the answer to that.
I was in search of a strong-handed leaking bowl man to alleviate some of the tension in my neck. You see, my wife's father recently retired, so as a gift, I converted an old nitrous oxide-powered Sibian into a jigsaw and turned his study door into a multifunctional foosball, poker, and milking table.
Oh, God.
The first night we shared it, he unleashed my kosher pork loin from its chastity cage.
This is dotem, isn't it? It's dotem.
No, it actually isn't. And strummed my penile frenulum like the guitar Ashley Simpson played on Saturday Night Live. The climax was so powerful that I passed out and slept the whole night atop said milking table that had been freshly glazed with the love and DNA that we both shared. I was wary that I wouldn't get his dairy. Think about that one, Doug. That's from Jimmy Stronglegs.
Jimmy Stronglegs.
The subtle
What was that
brilliance.
last sentence?
The subtle brilliance of kosher pork loin. Is really
I was
funny.
wary that I wouldn't get his dairy.
Cut
That's
that off.
horrible. What was the fellow's name again?
Jimmy Stronglegs.
Horrible stuff.
What is kosher pork?
Jackson just snorted a rail.
That's so brilliant.
There's no such thing as kosher pork, is there?
That'd be accurate. So it makes us so vexing.
Yeah, it's kind of an
I like that
oxymoron.
vexing.
Yeah.
Bison charge into storms because they know they will reach safety sooner and they don't prolong their struggle. They just charge into difficulties head on because, hey, no, they are strong.
What kind of email is this?
And that's why I admire how strong Tim is and how he handles all the nitwittery he's surrounded by. Like this Iggy guy, the ink on your lease isn't dry and you move apartments. You just lay around on weekends. Your coworker KG in O-Town is on a trip to Cripple Creek you don't even know about. You fly in listeners from St. Francis County to have threesomes who throw up in your sink. You flew them in?
I didn't fly them.
Francis County.
I don't even know where they're from.
And use you like a hua.
Oh.
You feel used like a hua?
I didn't know.
But this email is about an apology to one of my male lovers. Yes, I should have told you I was engaged. Yes, I should have told you about my 6 dogs. But when you've just tapped the perkiest ass enhanced by fillers ever to don a pair of khakis in Hot Shots parking lot after an awards banquet, you'll do anything you can to be able to tap it again. I left a lot of meat on the boner. I want to show you. That's from Fonda, and then the last name's Balls.
Fonda Balles. That S is a whole different syllable. Fonda Balles.
I was ready to give up, my beard covered in coffee circles. The frigid north face of the breezeway had already claimed 2 others, and the promise of a warm pie crust and Hispanic soap opera was all I had left to keep me going. I slumped to the ground, my empty barbecue grill in the near distance, a reminder of the hot ribeyes that were once stolen from me. Just as I took what I was sure was my last breath, I noticed that my feet were shockingly warm. The blood flowed through my talon-riddled tootsies, and I knew I would make it, all thanks to my fur-lined Cole Haan climbing shoes in tan, brown, or black for $69.95. That's in the taco-flavored kisser.
Okay.
War Jackson's tight little taint slipping into the open body of his tauntaun for a little snuggle.
taco-flavored kisser. He's been out a while, and he's back now.
We've got a big problem on our hands, and I'd like to address the elephant in the room. The fan page is simply not what it used to be. Doug, do you feel like it's slipping?
I don't notice it, really.
I'm almost embarrassed to be a part of it at this point. For example, on Sunday night, a few moments after the Packers skull left the Cowboys, Plowsy posted a picture of himself as a young boy preparing for a tap dance recital with absolutely zero explanation or context. Perfect blonde comb-over, shiny black tap shoes, hands in pockets like Alanis Morissette in his cutest collared shirt. A fresh-faced 10-year-old from Central Illinois with a cocky little smirk, standing in front of an open umbrella for some reason, ready to put on the dance performance of a lifetime and chase it with a delicious Kmart breakfast. Little did Chris and Gary Atkins realize that one day that little boy in the photo would grow up to say things on the radio like, "What if ice fishing is just a secret way to have gay sex with your male mistress?" The saddest part is that Plowsy's photo only got 86 likes and 9 comments. In the good old days, a picture of a sassy child dancer ready to click-clack across Canton would have broken Facebook. Now it barely gets noticed. Hell, the post about the best Hostess fruit pie flavors got more engagement, for crying out loud. Calling all fan page members, step up your game. Stop posting videos of yourself playing saxophone, and let's focus on supporting the twinks who are brave enough to share pictures of themselves preparing to do the Canton Shuffle. Do better, people. That's the JV golf coach.
JV golf coach.
Doug, what are you going to do to improve the fan page today?
I guess like Plowsy's picture.
I was wearing Tiger Woods, black and red.
Oh, were you really?
Yeah.
Were you a pretty good tapper?
I was very good at
Were you
tap
really?
dancing,
You're a tap dancer?
Yeah, and then I realized, I'm the only guy in this whole class. I started realizing that quick.
So you quit?
Yeah, I did.
Then went ice fishing.
No, then I played the piano. Then I went ice fishing.
Sadie Hawkins, Doug, 27 million streamed the Chiefs game on Saturday night. Taylor Swift's discography is full of bangers. Iggy lost money betting on fantasy football with Octung Baby and Mozart in his lineup. Plowsy suggests guys tell their wives they're going ice fishing when they're really meeting their male mistresses. But I think the lead is that we got clits in our mouths. I'm starting to think this Diora Bear interview isn't going to happen.
Both are true.
I never really thought there was any chance she'd go full Manuel into porn, given that she's making a comfortable living playing Hey Diddle Diddle. But I would have liked to hear the questions asked, and for Iggy to ask if he could sit in the corner getting berated while he watched her have sex, and how that would really boost the revenue numbers. I love when the guy who is so poor that he begs for haircuts and mittens offers career advice to OnlyFans girls making millions of dollars a year. Doug, that's Buck Swope.
Sure it is. Nice little email, Buck.
And finally, morning, great show. Didn't listen. Anyways, wanted to check in on the Email Today prize I won back in 2017.
Oh, no.
I got an email from station management at the time saying I won an all-you-can-eat wing and beer party for $25 at Casa Gallardo. When I asked how I redeemed the prize, the response was, "When we know, you'll know."
Sounds about right.
That was during our stamp issue era.
There was a stamp crisis.
Yeah.
So I figured half a decade was enough lag time to circle back on it. Pretty cool that you were gifting massive happy hour parties for Email the Day back then. And look at you now. Discarded bowling balls and boxes of porn sometimes. Autographed books that get handed off to strangers for mailing to never be thought of again. Single seat Stevens College Ultimate Cup Stacking spectator tickets. And used towels that Iggy's hacking on Facebook for a few nickels. Meanwhile, he's going out of his way to pay it forward to wealthy Ladue house moms at the Frontenac Starbies. Continued success. Some Maury and Little Jack, winners of prizes that have been stuck in transit through several presidencies. And while I have your attention, F you, Mardukas, and Wrangle and your family, beer cats.
Hey.
Doug, that's what we have for the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling Email today. What you got?
Maury and Little Jack. Well, there were a number of good ones. I can't get past... I was wary I wouldn't get his dairy. So I'm going to go with Jimmy Stronglegs.
Yeah, I like Jimmy Stronglegs, but I'm going to go with Little Maury and Jack.
God, I mean, great choices out there, but I am going, and I love the line of, "When we know, you'll know," but I'm going to go with Jimmy Stronglegs.
Oh, okay.
Jimmy Stronglegs has shipped the Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling Email of the day. On any other day, I think, though, Maury and Little Jack win again.
Sure.
Time for us to shut it down. Jackson and I are going to be down the hallway. Now, this is not going to go well, okay?
No.
But we're going to deal with it.
He's
Called
announced he
Balloon
wants to
Party?
trade the Blues for the Grizzlies.
Yes. Yes. That is coming up on the 101 ESPN channel on YouTube. Jackson and I have QFTA. Send your emails in. T. McKernan at InsideSTL.com. For the Plow for Action, Jackson, Kenny, thank you, from my brother Kevin Douglas. I'm Vaughn and Tim McKernan. The Spin. The morning after, presented by Brown and Crouppen.
The St. Louis Golf Expo is the